again, everybody. It's NosCast. We're back again at it. As always, at the Share Podcast Studio. And, here's the podcast where we talk games, comic book movies, TV shows, your animes, and... Am I missing anything? Music? We talk music. We talk music on here.
And everything in between.
Most things. Of course.
Most things.
Nah, we keep it in a general area, But if you made it this far, you already know who we are. So, no need to do all that. But just introducing as always. Joining me today, we got Wallace.
What up?
Back again also, we got Murdoch.
What's good?
And also joining us again, we got Stark.
What up?
And then as always, Greg.
Your man with the master plan.
And then behind the boards, good friend Christian.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, brother?
What's up? How's everyone been?
You keep forgetting to introduce yourself.
I'm Leroy Green. Yes, that's me. That is who I am. And this is what, the eighth episode?
Yeah,
and this is probably...
So if they don't know by now, it's their own fault.
Exactly.
If you know, you know.
If you don't know, now you know. In words. All right.
I was waiting.
I had to keep it,
PG
for the YouTube. I mean, on Spotify, it's gonna be completely fine. But how was everyone's weekends and week so far?
It's good, man. Work has been, work, but gotta teach chillins. So.
Chillins.
We had a pretty good weekend. We had a show outside.
Yeah, we did. At Coachella in the historic Harsimus Cemetery.
It's Harsimus, Jersey City. It's got a very long name.
Yeah.
It's the cemetery on Dickinson Hill in Jersey City.
That's my first time being there. Like I know they throw shows there like quite frequently, especially during this time, like around the fall and everything. But I never actually done anything there. So it was good to DJ and then be a part of your performance. It was great as always. I don't know. You had a good time?
I had a good time. I like that they brought the goats out for a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah,
there were actual goats there.
Like straight
There's
up.
goats
I was surprised too. I didn't go, but
cemetery
I heard about it.
that they graze the grass to keep the grass low, and they take them around the cemetery, and it's just like a staple in that cemetery. If you go there, like during the fall and the summer, there's goats there.
Straight goats.
Literally.
Like the first one I seen while I was setting on my DJ equipment was a black. He was all black. So I immediately called him Black Phillip. If y'all seen that movie, was it The Witch?
The Witch, yeah.
So I thought I was going to hell for a second. I was like, damn, I'm in a cemetery. There's a black goat. Like, I was like,
This is it. This is how I go out. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like in my head, like because you say in the cemetery and then you tell them the goats and everything. In my head, I'm thinking like, okay, this is like some weird satanic ritual thing
That's what I'm
going
saying,
on.
yeah.
You two are lucky that you came out alive. That's all I got to say.
Maybe allowed, but that don't mean we ain't cursed. Like, we probably brought back something.
Generational curses down to the grandkids.
Yeah, that's always my fear of like going to a lot. Like anybody knows me, I love horror. I love this time of year. I love Halloween. But spooky, spooktacular. But I'm always a little hesitant to go to like, because you've been to Easton State Penitentiary.
Yeah.
And you've been to it too, right? Like I've always been a little precautious because like I don't want to bring nothing back. Like if I'm gonna go one of those places, I'm bringing sage, Palo Santo, a rabbi, the Bible, the Torah. I'm bringing some holy water, a guy that looks like Jesus.
I mean, it's been 3 years since we've gone there, so if something was gonna happen, you know what happened already.
And I go to a different one every year. I come two
we go to Brighton.
Yeah.
Y'all playing it real dangerous.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie, because I think we said it before. Like I've been to so many too. Like because I think last time we were talking about the same one that we went to. That one that was in that. It was like a maze and like a whole farm and everything.
That wasn't Bane, right?
Nah.
Okay.
Bane's an indoor one.
Okay.
This one was all outside, like this big ass farm.
And they had like 6 different sections.
Yeah.
No, y'all can have that.
Have you guys ever heard of I don't know if I pronounced it right. McKinley Manor?
I don't think so.
I think I've
never
I
heard.
think he's gonna say McGinley Square.
That
place is pretty damn scary.
At night?
Wait, Christian, have you heard of McGinley Manor?
No.
Okay, I want to put you guys onto some game. Okay, I don't know if you want to pull it up to even show. Just type on YouTube, type in McKinley Manor. Okay, it's an extreme haunted house. It was originally started in San Diego, but the owner moved it somewhere in Tennessee, I believe. Anyway, you have to sign a waiver. And they can, but no, here's the catch. Like, it's like It's like if you took Saw.
Oh, I know this.
Yes,
place.
you took
This place
Saw.
is fucked.
It's insane. Like you took Saw, made it real. Like these people touch you, they smack you, they choke you. I even saw a video. One guy like spit in somebody. He threw up in somebody's face.
What?
Someone
like-
got sexually assaulted. Like,
Yeah,
it's
what?
fucked.
And
yeah.
then I saw like a news report. They were interviewing the owner. You can clearly see that this guy. There's
This is
something
like running
wrong
this
with
out of his own house. This
Yes.
can't be like a. That's what
No,
I'm saying.
this is in his own house.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a. Like
That-
something like
yeah.
Bane, like
Yo,
an
he
actual
look like-
licensed property where you could
like
actually.
this guy. He like you when
This
you
has to be his own private.
like
sick.
oh he records it too for
Of
you.
course,
Like, he
look,
records it.
look at him. He
Yeah.
probably.
Yo, am I bugging or does he look like Biff from Back to the Future?
You know
He
what he
does.
does?
Yeah, he
Look
does.
at this.
Look like Biff.
Sick pleasure he gets out of torturing these people.
Yeah, I love exploring all these different haunted houses, but this just is.
But here and
This,
here's
this
Nah,
don't
that
even
ain't
count
it.
as a haunted
That ain't
house.
it.
it's
This is
not.
just-
Well,
This is
here's
a torture
But here's the
factory.
thing.
Yeah.
There's like a community of people that have extreme haunts, and they don't even like him. Like they outcast him, like because he brings a bad name.
Look at him. Look at
Because
him.
that was like everything you say. It doesn't sound like a haunt. Like it doesn't sound like a walkthrough
It
haunt. It
sounds
sounds
like
like just
abuse.
something sadistic.
It's
that
sadistic,
He
it's
records and then
abuse.
You're going
gets
into
off.
something.
No. Look at that smile. You gonna tell me I'm not getting off there? Look at the poor woman crying right there.
But
Look at her makeup.
But here's the
Jesus.
kicker, though. Here's the price of admission. Literally a bag of dog food that he donates.
That don't make him. That don't make him better.
That's no.
I mean,
It doesn't make him better. But I'm just saying that's crazy. And
it's nice, but-
The wait list is like it stretches for like 2 years or something. Like
Now, what
people
kind of
are
dog food
willing-
we talking here? We talking like Purina? We talking pet?
I don't know. Listen.
Is that actual blood? You think?
Nah,
No,
maybe.
no, I don't know.
Actually, there was one.
It's probably
woman-
blood, but it could be animal
Like
blood
pig blood.
because
He
again,
gathers
this
the
guy
blood.
It's
seems
real blood.
sick.
Exactly.
No, it's
Blood.
real blood.
He gathers the blood
Yeah.
during the year when it's not Halloween, when he's an actual killer.
Exactly.
How's the bodies in the basement?
He's like collecting samples in the off season. He's like
He's warming his victims up.
He's like that
he's
guy-
distressing them and breaking them down before he.
I might have to read about this woman actually crying over here.
It's
That
like
looks
the movie The Collector. Like he's just
Yeah.
collecting.
Yeah.
He's sick.
Showing them
He's
up.
sick.
he said like they tie people up, they bound and gag them and stuff.
I
It's
couldn't breathe.
insane.
They just laugh.
They torture them. They smack them in the face. Like it's
So it
insane.
says
Waterboy?
that woman
Nah.
couldn't breathe and that they were laughing
This is
at
the
her.
full headline. I couldn't breathe and they just laughed. Woman says extreme U.S. haunted house experience left her with horror injuries after she was beaten, tortured, and waterboarded, an ordeal that they recorded and shared online.
Yeah, that's just bad.
Yeah, that's
See, that's why they moved it because they know this is an area with no brothers. So they ain't playing over that.
Tennessee.
Slapped around. Wow.
yeah. I don't think there's any. There's no way in hell.
They open up every other year with a different location and different names
Yeah,
to
for
escape the
real.
law.
Someone getting smoked.
I learned about this on that Netflix show, Dark Tourist, I think it's called. Yeah, and I was just like, what the bloody hell is this?
It's nonsense. That's what it is.
Like,
And
serious?
there's a 2-year wait to get in there?
You can have
Yeah,
Don't even
they
sound
can
worth
have
it.
that.
It don't even sound worth it.
And people love it. I
Go.
don't know why.
Go.
I'm not messing with it. I mean,
Some people
I'm-
want to be in a horror movie and then they get slapped around. They're like, nah, I didn't like that.
How'd your weekend go? How's your?
Pretty boring. I'm preparing for midterms for school. It's,
Already?
yeah.
Damn.
Remember, we go by the semester here, so.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you, man.
Look, yeah. Wow.
Yo, big homie's birthday's coming up too.
Yeah,
When's your birthday?
November 11th.
November 11th.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all in the same month. Okay, all right. Any plans?
As of right now, no, but we'll definitely get there.
All right.
Turn 21. We gotta take him somewhere.
I got some.
I was
news
just your
for y'all.
21st birthday.
21st,
We
yeah.
gotta take him
That's a
somewhere.
big one.
We gonna get him.
That's a big one.
That is a big one.
Yeah.
Not during Corona. I mean,
Oh, you know what? Though this is what we do. I think in your case, you're allowed to celebrate it twice because of the situation.
I
Yeah.
agree.
You could be 21 twice
Yeah.
because it is a very milestone birthday.
Who's gonna stop you? Who's gonna
Who
be
gonna
like,
ask?
bro? You
COVID. COVID.
Man, COVID could go.
About to be your last birthday.
Well, how about you, Greg?
I've been good. I'm still continuing with my weight loss journey. The clothes are starting to get baggier. People,
Couple
thank
Lang
you.
over here throwing heads. Bro.
Thank you.
Think
I
about
had
it,
to dust off the old boxing skills. Like I said, side note, when you saw that video I posted, I was in bed for the rest of the day. It took a lot out of me.
It don't matter. You did it.
You
That's
still
why
did it. I saw you working.
Yeah. So I see, the fat melting off, and I'm really now I'm at a point where I'm really, the diet doesn't even bother me. I like the fact that I'm plant-based, and I could be around like today. My uncle and cousin had KFC, and everybody knows me. I had a weakness for fried chicken, and I smelled it. I didn't even want it.
KFC got that good grease.
Especially because you go to the Retro by my house, right?
Yes.
Around there, and
Yeah.
then right outside the
Popeyes
Retro,
and stuff
there's
right
Popeyes.
there?
There's Popeyes,
Wendy's,
Wendy's,
Burger King.
That's how they try to
Quick
get you.
Check,
Taco Bell.
The diner across the street.
Yeah, the
the
Broadway
diner.
diner right
They're
there.
building a Cajun
They want you to
seafood
fail.
restaurant.
Yeah, that's how they try to get you.
The gym was
Dunkin'
there.
Donuts.
Setting people
The
up.
gym was there, and they opened up the Popeyes right next door. I'm like, see, they send people for failure right now.
No, they picked the perfect location.
They
That is
did.
why.
Well, they're
Like,
probably working together because if you eat the
Exactly.
Popeyes, you got to go back to the gym.
Exactly.
And,
This membership going
Yeah,
on.
they got a deal
See?
going on.
Popeyes probably got that free membership.
They ain't slick. They ain't slick.
But
Calling
yeah,
you out, Popeyes.
but yeah, it's been good so far, and like I said, I feel a lot better, and I'm excited. Like I said, I did trim the beard up because I was like, all right, looking a little rugged, but I'm not cutting my beard until I lose my first 50 pounds. The 50 pounds, the first 50, I'm not until then I'll cut it off.
I like the beard. Do you want to get rid of it?
No, I usually shave it down.
Okay, just bring it down.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I usually shave it down. Like, because I look hella young without facial hair.
Okay.
Like Christian was he was like, when I told him my age, he was like, get the hell out of here. I had to literally show him my license.
I still don't believe it.
He's like,
Black don't crack, baby.
like, where did you get this fake license? Where did this come from?
Nah, 100%. Like,
He was serious too. He's like, no, I don't believe you at all.
now I'm like doubting myself. I'm like, is everyone like that? I got some news for y'all.
See.
I started at least outlining ideas for the boy parody.
What is this?
So we officially it's still working title we going to do it the boy.
Oh no, I'm
or-
calling it It's Your Boy.
It's your boy.
It's your
That's
boy.
There we go.
So I had to do like copyright and like parody law research because it can't be the actual boy, unfortunately. But like, you could alleviate to it and shit like that, but just have it kind of identical, kind of like what they did with the Scream mask in Scary Movie.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
change it up a little. Cause even cause that's what they do. Like even like with the haunted house movies, like I think they had the animal doll, but I think it was slightly. It looked very similar, but I think there was some slight changes to it.
Yeah.
You know, I think she wasn't wearing a dress. I can't remember. I can't remember, but I don't know,
I'm
that's-
excited for it though, because I still think it's a super fucking funny idea.
That's was like
That
it
whole
was.
bit, like I watched it the other day just to make myself laugh and to get some more ideas. And I was just like, that shit still makes.
Yeah, we basically wrote out the whole movie in like a 5-6 minute, talk of it. We were just talking about upcoming movies of like 2021, and because I think we had to explain the premise of what the boy was, and just because it doesn't really hit you how goofy it is until you say it out loud. Like watching it, and you're just like, all right, well this is
Saying it out
boring.
loud, you realize
know.
this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, this is goofy when you actually say it out loud. Like all
Listen,
the
you
things that-
guys did not go to the theaters and see this like I did. Okay, that is like that's $13. I'm never gonna get back.
Nah. I mean, I lost 90 minutes. It's still not money, but it's time.
I'm just happy you didn't pay for the sequel.
You gotta see it anyway because we're gonna need more inspiration. So
I'm not watching that fucking sequel. I got enough that I
I gotta see The Boy 2. Or Brahms The Boy 2 is what it's officially called.
Oh, bruh.
There you go. That should be the
That should be
name.
the title, bruh.
No, that should be the kid because
That's the
his name was
sequel.
Brahms, so you could call the kid
Bruh,
like the actual dog. You just be bruh, something like that.
Bruh.
Bruh. So what's just going off from TVs and movies and all that. A lot of pretty good amount of like Marvel.
Marvel news.
Yeah, Marvel's
lots of
starting to
Marvel
come
news.
out.
Yeah, they started.
out of hiding.
Every week we seem to be getting a little bit more information and news on what they got coming out towards Disney Plus. So they announced the Nick Fury series, which surprised me because I had no idea that Nick Fury was even gonna get his own show or just get a show at all. You know?
I thought they had announced the whole slate already for the Disney Plus stuff, but I guess they're.
Nah, we ain't even getting to the
See, but then
thick of it.
it's crazy when you think about it because then you're looking at it and you're like, oh, so it's not all pre-planned out. What other fucking nutty ideas are they just gonna throw in there just because they feel like it?
I'm ready.
I'm ready for
all of them.
I'm ready for all because I feel like that because you have like we have the WandaVision, we have
which looks fire.
it looks fire. We have Falcon and
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. We have Miss Marvel. Now it felt like, and then Nick Fury, She-Hulk,
And Loki.
Loki. I feel, and
What
what
if-
did
I
what,
forgot about
what
And then
if,
Marvel's
What
What
if
If.
the animated
now
one?
was Hawkman canceled?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
No, it was
Hawkeye
rumored, but I think that they announced that it's still moving forward. It just might be delayed a little bit.
Okay, because like I feel like Marvel's gonna say, okay, we've learned from our mistakes of what we did on the Netflix shows and with Agents of Shield. I mean, I know there's some people that really like Agents of Shield. I thought it was hella boring, couldn't get into it. But I feel like
It's a good show, man.
You gotta stick
get
with
past
it
the
a
first
little
season.
bit.
I can't do it. I
Past
can't do
season
it.
one.
I couldn't do it either.
But I feel like Marvel's like, okay, we're gonna do it right this time, and we're gonna finally connect to the MCU and not dance around it like they did
Because
with
they
the
have
Netflix show.
their own platform, so they can they don't have to worry about like contracts with Netflix and with ABC and all that stuff. Like they own everything, and they have like the budget to bring the movie stars into the TV
I was gonna say,
shows.
was
now.
it that Netflix didn't want to pay like actors like Chris Evans and Sam Jackson?
But
And
they probably just
Well,
didn't
they
have
probably-
the money for
That
that.
probably was
That
the
and
case.
I feel like people like Chris Evans, they're kind of just they're kind of done with it. Like they had their time to shine with it, and now I feel like these Marvel shows are starting to spotlight people that probably won't get a solo movie, which kind of sucks. But like at the same time, I'm glad this is the case because I would rather not have a like Chris Evans Captain America series only because I don't want it to then diminish the value of the movie.
yeah, I wouldn't want to
Which
see
sucks, 'cause
them in a
it
show,
really
but
doesn't.
I thought it just would be nice if some of them made appearances
Cameo.
on the show.
Oh,
Like,
I have a feeling they will.
They will.
Yeah, which
which I'm
can
fine
happen.
with, because they were saying that Brie Larson will possibly be in this Nick Fury series.
Makes sense.
Which makes a lot of sense.
I'm glad he's
They
getting
have a
one, though.
lot to cover with the reveal from Far From Home of like when Nick Fury was actually Nick Fury and when he wasn't a
that
Skrull and
was a
stuff.
Skrull,
So there's a
yeah.
lot to go by.
I mean, they got Marvel's. It's to a point like I can't even tell you what direction they're gonna go because they have the
Campbell's.
storylines.
They got options.
Yeah,
Possibilities.
So many options and possibilities.
I think they're just gonna go full comic book and just make
It's gonna
the
be cool to see how
universe.
they made stories. that
Because
way.
But
they're
the question is,
all
what
over it.
though? That's the question. What?
They got.
They-
I'm telling
they
you,
got them all.
Campbell's suit, man. They got possibilities. I'm telling you, man.
Marvel shit, the Campbell.
And it's cool because with the movies, they're so limited because they're staying on like a 4 movie per year like cycle now. And you see with COVID, like one gets delayed and then every single one gets delayed. So now they're able to put in new characters and just slip them in between and stuff like that, so that they don't have to just be like, oh well, we want to like make a sequel to this, but we gotta wait 6 years because we got all the other movies planned. They can just like they have another platform where they can just like keep the universe gears moving for the time in between the movies.
Even spotlighting smaller characters like Monica Rambeau, she's gonna be in
WandaVision?
WandaVision. Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. And then whoever they're gonna bring in with Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm actually very excited for Miss Marvel.
Same Jersey City.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Yes,
this is
Jersey City. This is our time to shine.
You know what's
They-
crazy
they-
though?
they
They
put
probably
us
will
on
end up
there.
filming it there because
They
Jersey's
should.
building a huge film scene now. For example, Joker was just shot
Joker
in
was
Newark.
shot over
New
here.
York,
yo.
yeah.
So
We have better tax breaks.
we
on
do.
filming
We're almost
in
better
Jersey.
than New York, which is fucking crazy to think about.
And we're about to have Jersey City's about to have one of the biggest film studios on Caven Point Road, like by Pacific Ave. They're building like a high budget, like multi-million-dollar film studio. over
Finally,
there.
they're doing something with that area because the area's
Yeah.
been underdeveloped. So
I'm hoping the Ms. Marvel show takes advantage of that.
I swear, if that's not filmed in Jersey City,
Yo,
They filmed
shot in Toronto. What?
I was just about to say that. Like, if
Georgia.
they shoot in Toronto or Detroit, I'm like, wait a minute, that's 8 Mile. That's not Jersey
it's
City.
gonna be in
What is
Georgia.
happening?
And if not, it's always Chicago. Like they always go to that. But man, this
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's disappointed by shit like that because that pisses me off too.
I hate it so much.
I mean, I appreciate Canada. A lot of great stuff is shot out there. But it's fucking annoying when you're like, yo, that's my fucking hometown shot in Canada.
because they use like for like B-roll like footage, like they'll say like, because they did that with some show on Netflix, like it was based like in Jersey City, but none of the scenes were actually shot
there.
in Jersey City. They just used like driving by, like stuff like for like B-roll, like
They got
in
like
between.
second unit stuff, which is like the
Yeah.
little extra things of like people driving. maybe.
Exactly. So it's like, man, no. I'm hoping Ms. Marvel, she is a Jersey City based
Character, yeah.
hero. It's played by Iman Vellani. I hope I'm saying her name right. As Kamala Khan. as Miss Marvel, not to be confused with Captain Marvel. This Miss Marvel has the powers of the original, the limbs that could stretch and she grow in different sizes and all that good stuff. Get that Muslim representation up in there.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers.
So this is
and she's like a newcomer
Yeah, it
too.
was a long search though.
Yeah.
They searched for a while.
And I'm
So
glad
she
they're
must have
going
had a
with
killer audition.
Yeah.
Did they say where she's from?
I think she's a newcomer.
Yeah, she's definitely.
If she, it'd be cool if she
couldn't
was
find-
from Jersey, but I
Oh,
don't know.
where
She is
she's
from
from?
Jersey.
Literally.
Oh, she is
She
based in
is
New
from-
Jersey.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Oh.
Oh no, wait.
Jersey
Yo,
local.
Jersey,
rep-
based
No, that's
based
Miss
in
Marvel is based from New
Oh,
Jersey.
okay.
I was
Got
gonna
us all
say.
excited.
Where-
Yeah.
Whatever,
She's
either
from
way.
Toronto.
She's from San Francisco.
But yeah, Jersey local represent though. So this is our time to shine. I'm hoping to see lots of downtown Jersey City. She's fighting crime, so she gotta
come
be
to
in
the
the
hood.
hill. Yeah,
She
she
gotta-
gotta be in the
she gotta-
hill.
she gotta come to the
Hey,
hill.
You gotta
She
keep
gotta
it
come
real.
to the hood.
You gotta keep it real, man.
I remember there was
I
one
see
scene
how
in one of the
Martin
early issues where it was when she started like fighting crime and like the little tag said West Side Ave. I was like, oh.
But I'm definitely excited that they are moving forward with Miss Marvel. I just played the Avengers game not too long ago. And she was a
she's in
fun
there.
character.
I
in
heard
that
she's
game.
the best,
fun.
the best part of that game.
And she was the main character.
Yeah.
That's
And-
dope. So all right, so I like the build up Marvel has been going towards Kamala Khan. This is good to see them actually caring about this character a lot.
Yo, this actress is legit first credit.
Damn, imagine like how she looks young. Did they say her age? Because I know she's in high school. Like
She
Kamala
looks.
Khan.
She
so.
looks. Oh, she's 18.
18. Okay, she
Okay.
looked younger
Yeah, so they
right
got-
there.
I was gonna guess like 16 or 17.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
16.
But she's 18, so they can avoid the child labor law.
No, yeah.
Work, damn it!
100%. Holy shit.
It's 4 in the morning. We don't care. Get your ass out there and act. That mouse ain't playing around, okay?
Don't make me fuck you up.
Don't make me kick your ass.
Is there any other news going on with the mouse? Was there any other? There was no other. It was just those two for Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every week I've noticed we always
But
there's always some news.
we're
for
very
Disney
close
Plus.
to a Moon Knight announcement,
Ooh.
and that I'm waiting for.
I think they're gonna get Shia LaBeouf to be Moon Knight.
I saw that. He's a good actor.
I heard that.
There's rumors.
Yeah.
They had him rumored. They had Daniel Radcliffe rumored. There's a Keanu Reeves rumor, which I highly doubt.
Nah, he's a
Nah.
They're saying
Too
him.
old.
He's got to be a movie.
He's got to be. I keep
hope
saying
he's
Reed
Ghost Rider.
Richards for him.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
I can see a re-release. Ghost Rider, I can see him too.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I was thinking Silver Surfer.
Because we already got when Agents of Shield. They introduced Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider in there,
Right.
but you seen that he just like it in comics, he got his powers from a previous Ghost Rider. So in the scene they show, you see the Ghost Rider go up to him, but you don't see who it was. So it's assumed that was
Nicolas Cage.
Johnny Blaze.
either
Blaze.
Nicolas Cage's or someone else like John Blaze. So.
And they canceled the Ghost Rider show on Hulu that was supposed to
Yeah.
come out, so they
Yeah.
clearly have plans for Ghost Rider.
I would have
in the
loved
wider
it because I
MCU.
love that actor as the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider.
Same. He was one of the few good parts about Terminator. Like,
I'm
He
probably
was in Dark Fate.
He was in the
yeah.
I'm
bad
probably
guy.
in the minority, but I wouldn't be mad if Nicolas Cage wanted to come back and be Ghost Rider because I think he was perfect in that role.
Yeah, I think he was
wouldn't
good in the
be
role.
mad.
It's just the movie.
I don't think he's going to, but I'm like, that'd be pretty cool.
oh, he
I
will.
enjoyed
If
him.
they
I
give him the
enjoyed
money, he'll be back.
He doing
do
He
anything.
can't live
I'm
off
about
that
to say,
Spider-Verse money forever.
he seems like the actor that doesn't really say no to a lot of stuff, and that explains.
Well, he's
his
highly in
movies.
debt, and that's
Yes,
why
I'm saying he
takes-
can't say no. This is the
he
same
needs
man
that
that
money.
bought a Cobra as a pet. Who does that?
He's made a lot of crazy purchases and is highly in debt, and that's why he was taking so many roles.
Hopefully he's
for so
pulling himself
long.
out of it.
I'm gonna buy this island. Don't do that, Nicolas Cage. Do not do it. Nah, I'm gonna do it. All
What do you
right.
need an island for? I don't know. I just gotta have one.
Alright.
Now, excuse me. I gotta go. I got a lion and a zebra to buy. What?
Why is your driver a gorilla?
Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions if you don't want to know the answer to.
I feel bad for this man. I didn't know. Look at all those alimony checks he must be paying.
Yeah, a lot of ex-wives.
Damn, bro. I think
There was a couple of stories last year after he got his last divorce where he was randomly popping up in karaoke bars singing, and every time he was singing "Purple Rain" by Prince,
No, he wasn't.
and very angrily.
Oh,
And
he was going through
there's
it.
videos.
He was definitely
He's
going
going
through
through
something.
Yeah, it was right after the divorce.
I wouldn't be
Kept popping up
surprised
singing the same song.
I wouldn't be surprised if the man's was literally on the verge of like a Charlie Sheen-esque breakdown and got very, very
Tiger
quickly
blood.
saved.
I want to know what happened with that last one because it said married late 2019 and it said divorced
he
2019.
He
the
left
same
her
year.
quick because they got married. I think she was a hairdresser or makeup artist or something like that. And they got married and.
Oh shit,
Shit,
you're
it
right.
worked out.
In less
He
than a
did
year.
realized he was putting himself in the same situation he did 16 times before.
Yeah.
Listen, he was at a karaoke bar. He was very vulnerable, drunk, coked up.
4 days.
He
Yeah,
saw
4
this-
days.
4
He
days.
saw. He's like,
4
I'm gonna marry her.
Would they
And
married?
this
Would they get
happened.
married in one of those drive-throughs in Vegas?
Probably.
Look at like
On the
Then
hangover.
he woke
He
up
has
the
a-
next day. and was like, shit.
He has a thing for Elvis. Like he has a thing. I think that's why he also got with Lisa Marie Presley. Like she found that weird.
I feel bad for her. Everyone keeps marrying her because they're just trying to find out if her father's like alive. Because Michael Jackson had like that weird obsession.
I know
and
he
she would
alive.
say
He
he
hot.
always used to ask questions about him constantly. You know. So I guess
So where's your dad?
she should change her name. She should change her name because not being a Presley, it's not hasn't even really done anything for her like that. It's not like
maybe Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley are living together right now.
they probably are. Like,
She gets to bear witness to everyone calling out her dad for all the racist fuck shit he started pulling. That's it.
and then he had a relationship with like a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, that was her mother.
That's her mom.
That's her mom.
Priscilla.
Priscilla Presley. She was like 14 when he married her. Or something like that.
Did not know that.
Scandal. Gosh. She was like she been through it.
I know that's some hard living. You go back to her picture. Look at her picture. That is what you call some hard. That's some hard living.
She's 75?
She's 75.
That's what it said on the computer.
That's what's on the computer. That's what's on the computer. That's what's on the computer. I'm telling you, that's some hard living. Not Botox. All the Botox and facelifts ain't gonna help
Not
that.
gonna shave you.
Nah,
Nah, it's a rap, girl. Just let it go.
Yikes.
But not on Disney Plus. HBO Max announced a Peacemaker spinoff with John Cena.
Yeah.
I believe this is a prequel.
He's gonna
So
die
I'm
in
not
Suicide
That's what I'm saying. I don't. He's
gonna
probably
die.
gonna die.
Really?
A super brutal death. I know it. He's gonna get.
I mean, everyone's assuming he's
He's
gonna be
gonna
alive
die
because they
so
came with this series.
bad.
But if it's a prequel, then
Yeah,
probably-
he gonna die.
He
He's
gonna
gonna
die.
Yeah, because in the first Suicide Squad, they killed off a couple of members like right off the bat.
They
Slipknot
killed your boy,
died.
Slipknot,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
James Gunn keeps saying, "Don't get attached." And
Same
there's
thing.
such a big cast. He's gonna kill more than.
I'm telling you,
half
within the
of them.
first 2 minutes.
You know,
Somebody getting got.
Head
Somebody
Opening
explosion.
scene.
to
Opening
be
scene.
honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Harley died. Because I don't think Margot Robbie is doing any more DC films. They were supposed to do Gotham City Sirens, but they canceled that. They were supposed to do the other version of the Suicide Squad. We know what that became. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they kill Harley, because there is no Joker now.
That's a
Because-
lot of Halloween costumes that they gonna miss out on.
Yup.
selling, man.
Yeah,
You know,
they-
pop-
Yeah,
that-
but they're gonna bring her back in some way. Well, the way that DC's structuring
Got
their
the
films
Flashpoint
now,
paradox.
it's gonna be like
True.
there's gonna be solos.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be mad, or I wouldn't be surprised.
they have the means to bring people back.
They might go for
But
that
the-
shock value to build up hype for Flashpoint. That makes sense.
But at least if they do kill off Harley Quinn, at least I feel like at this point people will care. Unlike, say, like when Superman died, when he died in his second
Second.
film, so it didn't have no impact. It was just like, well, all right. Well,
It had-
that
it
DC
had-
show,
well,
I
Harley
guess
Quinn-
I was
yeah, of course, get out of here. I don't care how big of a Superman fan you are. You did not have any impact
Emotional
on that.
attack.
Actually, you're right. I did.
Yeah,
It
it was just like, oh,
I did not.
you know.
I did
Here
not
we
know.
are.
Well, we got Peacemaker, man. He's a weird.
And James
like,
Gunn is doing the show too.
Is he doing the
He's
show?
written
too?
said
all
that-
8 episodes,
He
and
said
he's
that-
directing the first.
He said that he's doing this in his time that was supposed to be in between Suicide Squad and Guardians 3. But since there's COVID, he's like, I'm just gonna use this time to write a whole show. And he wrote a whole
That's
Peacemaker
fucking
show.
cool.
Yeah.
I
It's a
love
he is-
James
it's a
Gunn.
he is
I like that
Gunn.
he's
He
working
is.
again.
Yeah.
Like that, everything that went down with Disney, they did him dirty.
They did.
And then I love how DC scooped him right up.
We'll take him. Come here.
I don't know. I heard that they only. I don't know how true it is, but I heard they only did that whole thing where they fired James Gunn so they could secure the deal with Fox. Like they were saying they put that out there saying, hey, because of what was going on, so they didn't want to mess up the deal, acquiring Fox. So because think about it,
But
right
what
after
would canning James Gunn have to do with that?
I want to give them that credit. That's like playing 5D chess. I don't think they're that smart. I don't think they're that smart. They ain't smart.
I think Disney got too big for their britches. Just fired the dude without thinking about it. Realized
What a
they
terrible
Terrible mistake.
terrible
Because
mistake,
DC
David.
came was like open arms, like.
And the people who leaked all of James Gunn's stuff was the right wing Trump supporters because he was so vocal about Trump, and then they dug up these tweets and they pressured Disney to be like, oh, you're gonna play like both sides, are you?
People are still thinking he's like this, but like people gotta remember when he made those tweets, he was working for Troma. I don't know if you guys know what Troma is, but like Toxic Avenger,
Nuke 'em High,
like Nuke 'em
Classic.
High, pure exploitation films, man.
Romeo
Like,
and Juliet.
yeah, like
Pro Tree guys.
they're exactly what they are, and when you're working for that company, you're gonna be making some awful jokes like that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of
The movies are 10 times worse than
Yeah,
the tweets themselves.
Yeah. I remember seeing Class of Nuke 'em High when I was like 9. I was like, what the hell am I watching?
9 years old.
That's how I felt watching the first Toxic Avenger. I only seen that first one, but I was like, and then they made an animated series.
The animated series
Animated-
was classic.
I was just like,
Toxic,
how?
Toxic,
This?
Toxic Crusaders.
I was
Yeah.
like, how the hell did they make an animated?
They made an off-Broadway musical, which was very good, actually, that I got to see. It had a nice little climate change
That's
spin on it.
Oh, look at them.
Did it really?
Yeah,
Of course it did.
but it was funny. They really took that franchise somewhere else. They're supposed to make a reboot.
Oh,
Toxic
Toxic
Avenger?
Avenger.
A Toxic
I'm
Avenger.
actually kind of excited for that.
Is that
reboot.
through Troma or no?
Lloyd Kaufman is involved, but it's not a Troma picture. It's going to be directed by the guy who did Sausage Party, and it's supposedly going to be an R-rated animated film.
Dope.
Oh, animated.
Which I'm like, I'm about it. I'm really about it.
As long as they pay the animators this time.
Oh God!
Sausage Party had a lot of controversy with that.
You don't gotta tell me. You don't gotta tell me. I almost didn't see that movie because of that shit. And I love supporting animation like that, but like at its core, I was just like, I can't do it. That's just
Feel
foul.
weird.
See, I was in the dark about that at the time. I'd seen the movie, but I didn't know about any of the background issues going, behind
know
the
now?
scenes. I know now. Like y'all saying this now is my first time hearing about that issue. I had no idea why this was going on.
Yeah, when I saw it, I had no idea too.
Yeah, that's crazy. But speaking of animation, they got a Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, which is another Netflix show coming out for Resident
Cashing
Evil.
in on the
Not to be confused with the live action show that they're still doing. So this is a CGI. Because I know they've been making like these CGI animated Resident Evil films for quite a while. I never really watched them because I didn't really care for like non-canon stories. That's just me. So I never bothered watching them. I seen one scene of this really goofy fight scene between Chris and Wesker, and I don't know if you could find it, you could pull it up, you could just see how stupid it is, and it's if you see the scene, you just let you see it for yourself. Man. It's the stupidest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. I hate it so damn much.
Chris is like, okay.
Bro.
All right, well, damn.
Is this the same creators as that?
I'm hoping not, because it's just like it's a weird ass fight scene. I think they were on a roof or something, and the entire time they just have unlimited bullets and they're just shooting. Say like the distance me and John are. This is how they're just shooting at each other like this, and each one is just dodging bullets and shooting. They're rolling on the ground. They're shooting at the other one. And
Perfectly choreographed.
exactly. It's like instead of just like fists and kicks and throws and all that, it's them shooting at each other at like point blank range, but no one's actually really getting
Somebody
hit.
was like, yo, this shit is fucking cool.
It was awful. So I'm hoping that this Netflix show does not have any of that goofy shit.
Lay off the John Woo films, kids. You're not John Woo.
Tragedy.
Okay, stop it. Okay.
So, Infinite Darkness. I don't know if it's following the same storyline as like again the movies they did, or even somewhat connected to the live action. Because even the live action one kind of has a different kind of like sort of non-canon story to it, with it's following like Wesker's kids. And as far as everything in the Resident Evil series, Wesker's not even been known to ever have kids. So maybe these are his love childs or something. That
They probably just made from his DNA or something. It's like gonna have some twist.
Yeah, that Wesker's that's Umbrella.
Virus carriers or
Exactly.
something.
Making something out of some DNA and shit gets broken out. Billions of people die, and then it gets into the sewer system.
We just spoiled the whole show.
All right, well, Netflix better change it up, find a new story.
Oh, they're gonna get canceled real quick because no one's gonna.
Did y'all see the NosCast?
They spoiled everything. We saved y'all about good 13 episodes of something
Saved you a
stupid,
year.
probably.
We're doing help us help you.
Doing you a favor.
Okay, that's pretty much what it is. We're helping you.
What else been going on? Some movie news. What they got? Well, they had Jonathan Majors that he was on Fallon, and they asked him. He kind of asked him about the King, the Conqueror rumors, and he said he heard about them too. But he was just kind of confused. But that's just the media trained answer, of course, that he's giving us.
Or that gun that Mouse has in the back of his back, like
Yep. You got that light on him.
You say one thing, pull this trigger and blow your brains off.
It's a typical Marvel dodging the answers.
Because he didn't say no, but he didn't say yes either. So, I don't.
He's like open to interpretation.
I mean, if he does, that'd be cool because the whole premise behind the movie, like, it seems like a lot of stuff happens in Ant-Man. Because I feel like Ant-Man is like a very underrated movie, like the series.
Yeah, they go on like a whole different theme and aesthetic with this movie too.
But I feel like that it's gonna be really good because they're supposedly gonna bring MODOK in.
Yeah,
and
that'd be great.
That'll tie
That
in
would
stuff
be
with the
great.
quantum realm.
Yeah.
And rumblings that might be Fantastic Four sighting.
Yeah.
It's like when you get to your third Marvel movie, they give you a complete makeover because that's what they did with Thor also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
He needed a
Completely-
makeover.
Yeah, completely
And
different.
Captain America's third movie was basically an Avengers movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Which is cool though because it's like refreshing because then they're like, all right, we're gonna do a soft reboot of you guys. Then you can be in a couple movies afterwards, and then we'll see where it goes.
I feel like with Ant-Man, they know that he's not the most marketable character, so they're trying to put in plot devices like Ant-Man and the Wasp. The quantum realm was gonna be important in Endgame, so you had to see Ant-Man and the Wasp to see Endgame, so they can get the money that way.
Yeah.
So
But
they
I-
put some stuff in Ant-Man 3 that's gonna be.
But I think that's smart because they know that. They know that Ant-Man's not an A-list, superhero in the Marvel circuit. But I think that's what because I agree with you. I think it is underrated. And I think that they have things in it that's very important to the MCU, like the quantum realm and
Young Avengers
the
too.
Young Avengers too. So those things are very important and they're gonna play a part. And like I said, I'm
excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean,
As long as they don't kill Kang and he's a one-time movie villain.
nah, they can't. No,
You can't take
Ego.
a time
No.
travel villain and just off him
Like
in the
that,
first
off
They
him.
movie.
be killing a lot of people in the Marvel
Yeah, I'm interested in the
movies.
story that's,
That's
gonna
what
be behind
they
that.
do it. I hope that they have learned from their mistakes.
I
Like
can't forgive him for killing Ronan.
Ronan,
yeah.
Killmonger.
But he could come back. They can they're gonna do reset.
They can't
listen,
retweet when they bring
Listen, the
people
vote
back.
is out on Killmonger. Okay, the vote is out. We still don't know. We're not gonna go there yet.
We'll get that what if though.
We'll get. We'll see. We'll see with Black Panther 2 drops. We'll see if Killmonger's really dead. Well, I'm hoping because he was my favorite.
That'd be cool if he does come. It's like a big.
Yeah.
If they do it that way and have like a little redemption arc with him, that'd be cool.
Listen, when I saw Black Panther in the theater, I looked at my friends and was like, you know what, fellas? He's right.
Another casting news. Again, well, I mean, this is just the Disney Marvel episode because they cast Yara. I hope I'm saying it. Yara Shahidi or Shahidi. Am I saying her name right? Shahidi from Blackish. If you guys are familiar
Yes.
with that show, she's also Nas's daughter. I
Is
mean,
she?
not Nas's daughter.
Goddaughter.
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 Sorry.
I'm just asking. I didn't know.
When did he have this going on?
Slip of the words right there. Either way, she is cast as is she cast as Tinkerbell? She's cast as Tinkerbell. And so I guess they're doing a live action Peter Pan. So I didn't even know they were doing this. So when this casting came out, that was the first time I heard about
That last Peter Pan movie
this
was kinda
movie.
garbage.
And I'm hoping this is good because Peter Pan's always been one of my favorite.
Last
Disney
Peter Pan
movies.
movie. What was the last Peter?
No,
it came out.
Oh wait,
It was like
Pan.
Return-
Was it Pan?
Pan, Hugh Jackman one.
Yeah.
But that wasn't Disney though.
That
Yeah.
wasn't Disney.
That wasn't
and
Disney.
oddly enough, I thought that film was like all right. I thought it was weird, but I didn't think it was as terrible as people were making it out
I
to
thought
be.
Hugh Jackman was good in it, but
Yeah, I think that was about it.
Black
But,
Widow.
like,
The only thing
I
I've
don't-
ever seen was the "Smells Like Teen Spirit" scene from that movie where they're all singing Nirvana on the boat, and I was like, now I kind of want to watch this movie.
not bad watches. I
Not
didn't-
sober, but
My favorite will
See,
always
I
like
think
be
that might have
Hook.
been my
Like
judgment.
it's I'm not a
Yes.
fan, but Hook I think was like
Goofy.
perfect as being because it was basically like a sequel.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah,
live action
yeah.
sequel.
like live action,
or like a
sequel to
what?
it.
Or like a what if? What if
yeah.
Peter Pan left and grew up?
which is cool.
And became
they
a lawyer.
should do that more instead of these live action remakes that are just the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't
like
I
Hook
agree.
is like a nice spin to it, and I didn't see Mulan, but like
Don't.
I'm not gonna. But I'm glad that they went in like a different direction with it instead of doing like we're just gonna make.
It
the
wasn't
same
worth
movie. It wasn't worth it, but I'd rather that than a live action remake beat for beat of the same thing.
Nah,
Like,
trust me, man. Like that's what I wanted with Mulan, and I was in the same boat as you. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, it's not a straight up remake. I mean, I was a little mad there was no Mushu,
Yeah,
but that's a whole other
No,
discussion.
that was a deal breaker for me.
But like, it was just such wasted potential. You know
'Cause
what
I feel like if you could do a Tinkerbell, you could do a Mushu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't see it.
I mean, they did a whole Lion King. Like,
They should just win.
Literally like a,
Brought him in.
like a beat for beat, like just carbon copy. I was like, what was the
There was
purpose?
no,
then,
there
if
was
you're
no
not gonna
dishonor
do
on
it?
your family. There was no
Yeah.
dishonor.
Speaking of Lion King's getting a sequel.
yes, it
The new
is.
one.
The
Yeah.
director of Moonlight is doing it.
Maybe well, if they do, hopefully they actually add facial expressions to the.
Yeah, I don't know why they went so super realistic.
if they did, it
with
would've
the
made the movie so
animals.
much
like,
better.
Yeah, like I don't
Cause
think
that
they
was
need to go.
because that was a flex for Disney. They wanted to flex their muscle. Like, hey, look, what
And it
we
bit
did.
them in the ass.
No, they had no facial expressions. It was
You know.
But
They did
that
that-
movie
that'd
made
been
over
great.
$1
That's
billion.
what that shit should have looked like.
Yeah, it hurt me because Lion King is like one of my favorite films.
That's like
Peter
a
Pan
gem
is,
of the times back
Peter
in
Pan
the
is
day.
one of my
man.
favorite.
It was
films, man.
it was part. Well, my favorite, two of my favorite Disney is Aladdin and Peter Pan. Those are my two favorites.
I thought the Aladdin remake was okay. I didn't think it was anything crazy. But
I didn't think it was
thought
bad.
You
I
know,
thought it was
decent,
alright.
I thought it was
you know.
okay.
I truly thought Will Smith was the highlight, and I thought
He was.
gonna
He
be
carried-
the
he carried
and
that
I
movie.
thought he
He-
was
he
going to be
carried
the
that
worst
movie.
part, to be honest with
Nah.
you. I
To
wasn't.
me, he carried that movie.
He carried the
100%.
movie. I will say this though, probably one of my favorite Disney live action remakes, and I saw it and I thought it was amazing, was The Jungle Book.
That's what started it.
Right.
The started
right.
the Jungle
Yeah.
Book was really
Awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Jungle Book was really good, and I actually liked
Christopher
Tim
Walken?
Burton's
Dumbo.
No, not Dumbo. Oh God,
Dumbo was awful.
I didn't
that was
see
awful.
it.
No, no, I'm
It
talking
was
about
bad?
Alice in
It was
Wonderland.
pretty bad.
Okay.
Oh
Alice
yeah,
in
I
Wonderland.
was
That's-
good.
Because that's what started it was the Alice in Wonderland.
Because
It wasn't the Jungle Book because there
Well,
was
I guess the more modern.
yeah because they had Cinderella. No, actually,
Oh yeah, Cinderella. Kenneth
actually
Branagh
I
did
think
that.
That's Snow White.
I think
Cinderella
Maleficent-
wasn't bad.
no, they didn't do Snow White yet. They're gonna do Snow White.
They did
Snow White?
Maleficent.
No,
Yeah,
they did
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
That's what started for me.
That's-
at least.
yeah.
And I really enjoyed that movie. I didn't see the
Snow White
second
did
one
Snow
though,
White.
but I really enjoyed Maleficent.
Well, to be fair, it started long before that.
101
101 Dalmatians.
like 96 with Glenn Close. So technically, that's what kicked it off.
Oh wait, are they still the one with Emma Stone? Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
done.
It's shot.
Can we
Yeah.
see it? Because I was hyped for it.
Did you see the picture of her?
Yeah, that's all I saw like 2 years ago, and I'm like, where's this movie?
Is that
Yeah.
right
See,
there?
I was hyped.
I think she's gonna kill it.
I,
Yeah, I
I do
think she
too.
gonna kill
I
it.
just want to see it.
And that's
you
cool
know-
too, because it's not 101 Dalmatians again. It's like a villain
It's-
origin.
it's the
something
origin
different.
story.
Did
Yeah.
anybody see the Lady and the Tramp one that was on
Nah,
Disney Plus?
man.
No, I
Nah.
didn't see it.
I was.
I didn't even
hyped
hear
for it.
anything about it.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot that it even existed till you brought it up just
Well,
now.
that's, yeah,
Because it came out.
They
It was
dropped
Disney
it on
Plus
Disney
launch
Plus.
title.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they brought it around the holidays last year, thinking like, "Oh, this is gonna be good for the holidays," and it did nothing.
Oh yeah, Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
I'm
Alright.
excited for Little
We got
Mermaid.
Black Ariel.
Yeah,
we got
too.
Black
Black
Tinkerbell.
Ariel, Black
Black
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell.
You know they
Black
already
on black.
Black
running.
Black.
They know they running in the damn comment section complaining.
I know.
'Cause I see that.
Anger.
'Cause I purposely clicked. I was like, let me look in the Facebook comments for the exactly what I'm looking for, and there it is. White people pissed off. Why do you gotta change the color of the character?
Dude, she's a fairy.
I'm like, that's
First
what
of all,
I'm saying.
she's a cartoon.
whatever.
She's a fairy. Okay, they
Like,
don't exist.
Why are you drawing someone who is historically white? Is playing someone black? I'm like, well, she's a fucking fairy. They could be literally anything
Exactly.
they want. Like, you know.
It's the same thing with the Little Mermaid. Like, she's a
Pinocchio.
mermaid. They don't exist.
Yeah, like-
I'm
Pinocchio.
interested to see how
Pinocchio
they're
be
gonna
hype.
do that. Pinocchio.
There's Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do a Pinocchio movie, and I think it's still the same one. But he also has a bad habit of announcing like 10 movies and only doing doing like one of them.
I'm
So,
still waiting on
like,
the Haunted Mansion from
I'm
like
still
2010.
waiting on, Justice League Dark.
Yo,
Yeah.
me too.
I heard that they're gonna do Lilo and Stitch as well.
Yeah, that got announced. Disney's really just like
They're gonna
throwing
do
it
all of them.
out there.
Lilo, I'm optimistic for because apparently they got the original crew to come back and work on it. So I'm like, you know what?
For which one?
For Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
So if it's truly that way,
I hope
I'm
so.
about it.
'Cause
If it's-
I
if
know
it's-
nobody involved in the original Lion King was involved in the new one. and
Except
that
for
kinda,
James Earl Jones, right? He was back for.
Was he in
Mufasa?
there?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was back
Mufasa.
as Mufasa.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
because he got
cast.
that voice.
Yeah.
You can't duplicate that.
I like
You
Seth
can't.
Rogen as Pumbaa.
I thought they would have highlighted that
They
film.
did great.
Oh,
With
they were
Timon-
hilarious.
They would have highlighted that film for me.
They carried it,
Yeah.
and that's coming from a Childish Gambino fan. And I was like, why is your Simba so weak, my dude? I didn't like it.
Was he playing
I
both
can't-
young and older?
He played older.
He played
Simba.
older Simba.
Older
He played older
Older
Simba. There's a young child actor that played young Simba.
And
Yeah.
Beyonce, we ain't
Back
gonna
in the
touch
day.
that.
Nah, stay away from that.
She's not. Like I think we said before, but she's just not with his voice acting. She's
Sim-
like Ronda Rousey. You just, it's
Simba,
just not, you're not.
you must come home.
You're not cut out for it. Whether you're acting and doing voice acting,
That
it's just not for you. You know
Two
what I mean?
things though. You mentioned Guillermo's Pinocchio.
Yeah.
That is still happening. Netflix is producing it.
Okay, so
and it's also
Netflix.
being done by the Jim Henson Company, but it is partially stop motion.
Okay.
So they've been doing that up in Portland. I know I've been following that movie since they fucking announced
And
it.
are they like shooting it? Is it
It's
is
been
it in production?
It's in production.
Okay.
That and Netflix is doing 2 stop motion films, which is the Pinocchio, and they're partnering up with the guy who directed Nightmare on Elm Street, and they're partnering him with Key and Peele to do an animated stop motion film.
I heard that Key
nice.
and Peele were doing an animated movie. I didn't know it was by the Nightmare.
I'm excited for
Okay.
that. I'm
That
like
sounds
Henry Selick. That's his name. But
He directed Nightmare Before Christmas.
yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
now I'm really excited now.
See, I thought you said Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was just like, wait.
Wait, how's that work?
I think you did say that.
Did I say Nightmare on
I
Elm
think you
Street?
did say that with Elm Street.
No
Last
way.
time I was like,
I
I was
heard
like,
Nightmare
wait,
Before
now are you talking
Nightmare
about the
Before
original,
Christmas.
like Wes Craven? Because he's
Yeah,
kind of dead
I
right
heard
now.
that.
Or unless you're talking about the remake.
Nah, they bought him back. Disney got that money.
Exactly.
Hey,
Cryogenically frozen.
How do y'all feel about this Disney Pinocchio remake though? Because did you know who's doing it now?
No.
It's Robert Zemeckis.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to the
Back
Future.
to the
Polar
Future.
Because I
Yeah,
heard
so that makes me excited
is
for it.
Tom Hanks still in talks to play Geppetto? I know they were
Yeah,
in talks.
that's
with
been
him.
cool.
confirmed for a while.
Okay. And now see, I'm real interested in
he's
Pinocchio.
gonna be doing his Woody voice.
Is he gonna be doing it like Polar Express animated style or just live action?
I hope to God it's not the Polar Express.
Yeah. I'm real.
And I
in-
like that movie, but
I'm-
like it doesn't hold up that well.
The animation's so weird in that
I'm
movie.
real interested to see like what the live action Disney Pinocchio is gonna be, because I remember when I was a kid, that was one of the Disney films that I had on VHS, and I used to like when I was really little, and I used to watch all the time. But I don't know if you remember the scene. 'Cause there was one particular scene that even the Disney cartoon
Scary.
scared the living hell out of me. It was when he went to that island with all the boys.
And they turned
Donkeys?
him into
Turn them into donkeys.
Yeah.
That one scene with the kid, you just see the shadow, and he's like, "Mama!" I was like, "What the hell is
Turned into a
going
donkey. That
on?"
was creepy.
And then even Pinocchio looked at the beer, was like, "Shit." he put that cigar and beer down so quick, like, "Shit." I skated away with getting a tail and 2 big ass ears. Y'all turned into full donkeys. What the hell?
That was like that Dumbo hallucination scene.
Oh, the pink
All the
elephant.
pink elephants when he got
Disney
drunk.
was putting out real creepy stuff back in the day.
They butchered the pink elephants in the
I
new
heard.
Dumbo.
I didn't see it, but
I
heard.
literally, because I didn't see the new Dumbo, but I was like, after it came out and it left theaters, I was like,
Did they put
how
them in there?
bad?
I heard they made they did a reference towards it, but they didn't
It's
actually.
like-
did
they-
they actually put the?
They kinda did, but it was like a balloon act. It was fucking, it was fucking weird.
With Tim Burton, who makes scary stuff, you think like
You'd think,
This
Yeah,
is your
in the,
time.
in the Alice in Wonderland, I mean, I didn't like Through the Looking Glass, but the first one I actually really enjoyed. I thought he did a really good job with that.
Well, Tim Burton didn't do the second one, did he?
No,
Nah,
he didn't.
he
He
didn't.
didn't. He didn't. You're
Director
right.
of the Muppets did the second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that Alice one really kind of kicked the door open. I mean, yeah, there were a few before it, but
that
like
was the
Alice literally made $1 billion at the box office, and that hadn't happened.
And
Yeah,
Maleficent too.
That was before $1 billion was like. a
That was
more common
pre-Avengers
appearance.
billion.
Yeah.
Like when you heard it, you were like, "What the fuck?" Because films hadn't been doing that since Avatar.
But here's a question for the entire panel since we're on this topic right now. Now, Disney is doing all these live action of their remake of the animated films. Now, they announced that they're going to do a live action. I think that they're going to do a live action Robin Hood, which is one of my favorite Disney films. Do you think it's gonna be interesting when they start doing the live remakes of the Dark Ages of Disney, like Robin Hood, The Rescuers, The Black Cauldron that everybody forgot, The Great Mouse Detective? Do you think if
they do,
cool.
because that falls in line with like my thing of like how they should do remakes. Like I know Hollywood likes to remake everything, but my thing is, if you're gonna remake, why don't you remake something that wasn't good the first time?
Mm-hmm.
So like I would be fine if they did those movies, like the ones that weren't really that great, but just did them better if they could do them like live action. So I wouldn't mind it, because like I said, when it comes to remakes, I think you should remake shit that did not work the first time,
right?
And try over again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't take stuff that was amazing the first time and do it again, because
y'all like Lion King? Well, guess what?
Here's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna do it
You
again.
gonna love this? Like, no,
The
we did not
same
love it.
thing.
We're gonna take this turd and just shine it up real quick for you.
It would be cool if they actually went back and did some of those old movies, but most of them will probably be animated, or if they do Robin Hood, they're gonna have to use. They'll probably do something like Zootopia, and they'll go that direction with the.
I don't know.
I can see that.
I can see that, but man, Disney likes to flex their muscle, and they flex their muscle with Jungle Book, and they really try to flex their muscle with the Lion King.
I want it done.
But Disney seems like the type of, when they see something bites them in the ass, they kind of
retreat.
Yeah,
So
true.
I don't see them doing
they
that.
haven't talked
again.
about Dumbo since it
Oh,
came
they
out.
buried that. That's buried. That's right.
Yeah, they're more of the, like, if it ain't broke,
That
don't fix
movie
it.
to
Yeah.
them, as far as they're concerned, did not fucking happen.
That movie's
Back in the vault.
That's back in the
Back
vault.
in the vault.
Right next to the Song of the South. Yeah. Right next to Uncle Remus. Literally, Uncle Remus is in the vault. That's the one Disney film you would not see. Remaking Song of the
They
South.
didn't make it to Disney
Can
Plus.
we update Splash Mountain if that's the
No,
case?
They are.
need to.
They are.
They are.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Princess
it's
and the
gonna be a
Frog.
Princess
Princess
and the
and the
Frog
Frog.
ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it better be Princess and the Frog. Better put something
Nah,
black.
dude, they're refeming that whole area
with
into
Princess
like a
and the
New
Frog.
Orleans, I'm forgetting the actual term, but like just a big New Orleans themed area. Like
That's
they're gonna
cool.
build like a Tiana's restaurant.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm about it.
What's the gumbo? Give me the gumbo.
For real, I want to try that
The
gumbo.
gumbo in the movie was like, it tasted really good. I was like, wow. For, I don't know. Something about cartoon food that makes you hungry.
I like what they're doing with the Marvel land in Disneyland.
Ooh.
Yeah, the whole Marvel
The Avengers
section.
campus.
Yeah,
or
Avengers
something.
campus. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're doing a whole.
Yeah.
Art is Florida getting it, or is
It's
California getting
California.
it? Of course, they get it.
Yeah,
first.
they get it.
It's just because going to the Florida one so much. That's like my home one.
I like that one a lot too.
So,
That's the main
Disneyland's
one.
fun. It's fun. When we went, there weren't a lot of people there, so we got to experience everything.
because they
There
went
ain't
to
a lot of
Florida.
people there now.
Yeah, they went to
Oh,
Florida.
God.
Why go to Disneyland when you go to Disney World?
We were in
Yeah,
California
exactly.
anyway.
Yeah, we were in
so-
California.
Oh, okay.
I think I was reading that Disney was laying off
Yeah.
bunch
Yeah,
of
a
shit
lot
on
of
people at the
people.
theme parks.
28,000
20, yeah.
people.
Mhm.
Who's
That's
operating the
crazy.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Noses.
Itself.
You got employees running from ride to ride.
Playing the pirates themselves.
They program one of the animatronics to just
yo.
go like this and just keep hitting, the button.
It's just Johnny Depp. They're just like, listen, Johnny, we'll pay you like $1 million. Just operate the ride for us. Just show up on occasion because he's done it before.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that clip where he showed up on the ride?
Yeah.
And I found out, which is hilarious to me, he didn't even tell Disney that was happening.
He showed up in costume.
I love shit like that.
That's called leverage right there.
Yeah.
Facts. Like,
He did that with a children's hospital too. A kid who was sick sent him a letter asking him to stage a mutiny, and he showed up with 15 minutes notice to the hospital. Yes, hi, this is Johnny Depp. We're taking over your hospital.
who's gonna say no?
And they were just like, all right. And he came with like 3 or 4 other pirate extras, and they just hung out with the kids.
Nice. Because I know they updated, like, speaking like them updating rides. Like, I remember Pirates was one of the first rides they updated, but they added, was it Captain Jack Sparrow? That is his name?
Yeah, and I think
they threw him in there, so
and they
like, you
added,
can see him like hiding throughout the ride. Then you see him at the very end, all the gold that he stole.
and they added Davy Jones too.
Did they?
Yeah, like not him as like animatronic, but there's a part where
Oh
like,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
where
waterfall.
you're going through the little mist. Yeah. Okay,
I
yeah.
actually
do
have a
remember that.
very quick funny story about that. The last time I went to Disney World, this was maybe like 2009, and I'm on the ride with my honeymoon, my ex-wife, and And I hadn't, mind you, I have not ridden a ride in years since I was a kid. So I see Davy Jones, and I did the most ignorant thing you could think of. Now I think back as cringe. I was like, yo, that's my nigga Davy Jones right there. My ex-wife was like, Greg. I was like,
Chillin.
oops. I'm not in Jersey City anymore.
At Six Flags, you would have been fine.
I got really excited. I was like, that's my nigga. I was like, oh, sorry.
You would have been fine at Universal, but
I was surprised that Disney didn't go like this. What's going on down there?
Good God. Freaking, you know what's, the last time I went to the Disney parks, I got absolute shit scared out of me by the fucking, oddly enough, the Snow White dark ride. Because there's a part in that ride.
It's called Snow White's like scary.
Yeah. But my parents didn't tell me that. Witch, right? So when we're on the ride and there's this part of the ride where you see the witch and she's in the hot version, so it's like, okay, this is fine. And you're like waiting for her to turn around, and all of a sudden just flips around and it's like the ugly version with like glow. Scared the shit out of me.
It scared me too.
I'm willing to admit it. I don't give a fuck.
It scared me too when I was like 6, but I tried to play it off. Like, you know when you like kind of jump, but you try to play it off. Like I jumped and I was just like, nah, I'm cool.
I'm good.
Do you know that?
It's all right.
That ride in Tomorrowland that used to have like an alien encounter happening.
Yes, they turned it into the Stitch ride, the Lilo and Stitch ride. Yes.
When I was a kid, I got so scared on that ride that I slipped out of my seat and I ran out of the thing. And my mom had to get them to like shut it down for a sec so that she could get out and get me.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And that's like it's like a stationary thing. It's not like
Yeah,
moving around
yeah, I
and
remember
stuff. But I literally got so scared I slipped out and jet.
Because that thing was like on you tight.
Yeah, I was a tiny kid.
I ain't gonna lie, I'd have been super pissed. I'd have been like, this, who kid is that? I'm trying to enjoy myself. Who told you to bring your kid on this damn dangerous ride?
For me, It's a Small World was always creepy. I know everyone loves that ride. It's weird to me, though.
That shit
It's like one of those things that Disney will just never get rid of. You know? It's
Yeah,
not just
Great of a
It's
ride.
not
like,
that
everything
great. I
there
think
is better than It's a Small World.
Didn't they just
Like,
update
I can't
it,
even
though?
do what you did, though, because you see, I get in the water.
I'm trying to think if there's any other.
There's
Disney
been
things.
some like horror stories though. Like I was reading because back in the day they used to have it was either at Magic Kingdom or MGM, which is now Hollywood Studios. There was a ride for Roger Rabbit, so it was like remember
They
the
still
taxi?
got it. Roger Rabbit's Toontown.
Really?
I think it's still
I think it's
there. Yeah.
Maybe in California.
Maybe,
but
yeah,
not-
I don't think
not
it-
in
I don't remember
Florida.
seeing it in California.
Yeah.
Nah, actually,
I think
Roger Rabbit cartoon.
that's
spin.
still there?
Wow.
Yeah.
nah,
That's gone. Yeah.
Operate. Disney and Mickey's.
No, it says Disneyland. That's Disneyland.
Oh.
Yeah, Disneyland, Tokyo, Disney.
Oh,
I don't remember
we
seeing
ain't never
it.
go there.
I guess we
Now
skipped
we
it.
gotta
I
go
guess
back.
we skipped
Now we
it.
gotta go back.
I don't know, man. Well, I mean, it's fine now, but there's a weird horror story like with that ride. Like it broke down. Like it was about like maybe 20, 30 years ago. So it broke down. A couple of people exited the car. Got out. So it was completely dark. Like I think the lights and power like shut out. And so because like I think these rides are like pretty much gas operated. So because they couldn't really see and they were trying to just make their way through it, one of the guys lit his lighter, so he could see, and then lit everyone else
Yo,
up.
Disney
I heard
rides
about that.
dangerous.
I heard about
seriously.
that.
That happened? Wow.
That sounds like a creepypasta story.
Yeah, stay your ass in there. Just wait. The technicians and everything will be there. Do not try to take it upon yourselves.
Let's go
Like, it's
explore.
not-
Another creepy thing, at the Haunted Mansion ride, which I actually like that ride a lot.
That ride is
That ride
amazing.
is amazing.
But people apparently spread their loved ones' ashes on the ride.
I
there.
heard that same.
that
People
is-
do that
Yeah.
at Disney in general.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
so
just-
fucking weird.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I get it.
I get
If
it's the happiest place, but that's still something you
That's
just.
very morbid.
That's how you make ghosts. Stop it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the thing with it's haunted. Like, it's not like the spirits there are necessarily cool people. Like, so if someone spread my ashes there, like, what are you saying about me? Like,
What if they tear that ride down? It's like, like, come on. And like, plus it's like, listen, I'm coming here for fun and to live my childhood. Like, don't taint
And then you
it
see
with
some
ghosts.
Agnes over there spreading Eustace's ashes.
At the top of Splash Mountain.
Let's spread
Eyes
Uncle.
into your mouth.
Let's spread Uncle Benny's ashes on Splash Mountain while you're going down. Whoosh. Man, Uncle Benny must have ate a lot of pork. What the hell?
Oh my god.
That's exactly why he's not here right now.
Freaking
That heart disease.
There was something else that I read that I was like,
Another ride
There's
horror
an
story.
entire
There's a-
Wikipedia
dude,
page called
There's
List
a
of Incidents
a lot,
at
yeah.
Disney.
Because that's how I found out about it. I was literally clicking
look
around.
at how long this shit is.
And I was looking at like every
Whoa.
like, crazy incident.
That's like every ride.
Oh. Yeah, I even heard there's like a. I think it's in.
Oh, this is just Disney Resort in
That's
California. Disney.
That's
Disney
Disneyland.
World's probably
got a whole-
Disney World's Florida.
What happened on the People Mover?
Wait, where do you see that?
It says People Mover at the bottom of
What
it.
the hell's a people mover?
It's that like that
Those
small.
little-
Oh yeah.
the Jamiroquai
Oh.
little things.
Who got their ankle ripped
That's
off?
how I know.
Who got their foot ripped off of that?
I see a broken arm and hip.
I actually see
Some
somebody.
kid left his
No,
shoe
someone was
untied and got
killed.
caught up in it. You know, next thing you know, he like a
18-year-old
paper shredder
was
just.
crushed and killed for jumping between moving cars.
Yeah.
Well, they-
Episodes got
See,
dark.
that's the thing. When you read half these things, it's always. I don't mean to sound rude, but it's their fault. This shit happened. If you just
it's
listen,
never Disney
yeah,
negligence.
exactly. It's
There's
never
always-
like someone forgot to strap someone down properly. Like, no, they test all that shit way in advance. It's always someone doing something stupid. Like the one guy, I think it was at a Six
It's
Flags.
even longer.
Yeah. Well, because Florida. Is anyone surprised? Is anybody surprised with
It
Florida?
keeps going.
Look at that.
Wow.
They got a whole character section for Disney World
Wait a
incidents.
I mean, when you have
Oh,
6
man.
different parks.
Donald Duck beat the hell out of him.
I'm looking at the area one. It's the first thing I see. A 51-year-old sex offender was charged with battery after.
But what does
groping
that have to
a
do with
cast
the
member
Ariel?
playing
Oh, okay,
Ariel.
somebody-
It was
somebody-
an Ariel cast member.
So it was
Oh.
against the character.
I thought it was against it. Yeah.
Tried
Oh,
to
go
try
to-
to
go
take
to
those
Haunted
fucking
Mansion.
shells off.
Oh, people died on Haunted Mansion.
Oh God.
So that ride has actual ghosts.
They
So
do?
we think we're looking at like little light reflected,
It's not.
cool effects. No, that's
It's
those are
actual
real
ghosts.
people.
An 89-year-old woman fell and broke her hip while exiting the ride vehicle.
Jeez,
Damn.
how?
Damn.
That's something.
Wait, isn't it like?
No, I will admit though, the floor moves a little fast sometimes
It
when you're trying to get
does,
off
Yeah,
the
but
ride.
moving fast enough for you to die.
Well, she
She's
didn't die.
89. She's 89. She had no business on that ride. Let's be honest.
Well,
She
let's
should
be
have been
honest,
home,
Whoever was
bro.
with her should have helped her off the ride in the first place.
I'm
So
telling you, that,
where-
that
where-
floor moves a little fast sometimes.
Well, she's there by herself.
Especially for a 90-year-old.
Legend has it
The
that
car
they-
ride there
they've-
should have been enough excitement for her. She should have never been there in the first place. Like,
Wow.
Legend has it they've tried to shut down the Haunted Mansion many times, but the ghost won't let them.
We got
Powering back up.
Wait a minute. You have didn't there was like an incident when you went when you were little on the rock and roller coaster Aerosmith ride or something like that?
There was an incident. Someone I think
No, you saw Christina Aguilera.
yes,
You saw
yes,
Christina Aguilera.
That's an
It was a
incident.
good. It was a good
That's a good-
incident.
it's a good
though.
incident.
Yeah,
So
Christina
Christina
Aguilera
Aguilera.
was there. Yes,
That's
I
a fun
completely
ride.
forgot that even happened. So you just reminded me of that. And this was like at like the height of her blow up because this was like 99, 2000. So yeah, it was crazy seeing her like right there. They let her straight on, bro. She was
They're
not
like,
waiting with the
you
common
know.
folk. I don't even know if like the Fast Pass existed back then, but
I don't think it did.
I think she started
Fast
it.
Pass was being a celebrity.
She was the
Exactly. Yeah, that's you needed to be a A-list superstar.
Oh my
You
God,
could
that
cut all the common
ride,
folk.
Mission Space, was one of my favorite rides, but I got so effing sick on that ride because there's 2 versions of that ride.
The orange and green.
Yeah. And my ex-wife was like, let's do the more intense version. I was like, okay. And then literally, because it's supposed to be like the ride is like you're on this mission and you're going to Mars and they give you like certain like parts to play or whatever.
Yeah, like
and,
one's
like
the pilot.
yeah, once the
Yeah,
once the
yeah,
navigator,
times,
yeah.
and you feel the G-force on your face. I got so motion sickness when we left the ride. I literally sat down. I was like, "Wait, we got this bacon, egg, and cheese I ate this morning is about to come up. I do not feel too great right now."
Those
I
Mickey
also-
Mouse shaped waffles.
Yo,
I
those
just want
waffles
to
are
point
life.
something out
They
because
are.
I find this hilarious. So the Epcot section of the Disney incidents page goes from Body Wars, Mission Space, parking lot.
Parking lot.
Parking
Damn,
lot.
son.
What happened in the parking lot?
Two things apparently.
A husband, wife, and a daughter, along with their 1-year-old daughter, were killed.
Whoa.
Damn, and 2 other children were injured when the single-engine plane they were flying crashed while attempting the emergency landing. Oh, so it was an emergency landing
What?
that happened to be in the.
Damn.
Now I feel bad making fun of it, but I'm still like,
That's crazy.
I thought like maybe a fight broke out because
That's
know
what I
like,
was thinking,
Epcot's
too.
the only
Yeah.
because you can drink in Epcot because of the whole world
Yeah, yeah,
showcase
yeah.
that they have.
What did you say to me?
They actually have a whole.
What did you say about Pinocchio?
What'd you say about Geppetto? He's a bad father.
Those are fighting words around here.
I never knew my father.
I never forget when I was in Six Flags during the Halloween. What is it? Halloween? Fright Fest.
Fright Fest.
Fright
yeah.
Fest.
Yeah.
First time I ever went to Fright Fest, a big fight broke out between a bunch of people in costumes, and one of them was in one of those. Like they just
On
it
one
just
of them
started as an
stilts and
argument.
shit?
No,
Like, oh.
one of them was in like one of those inflatable sumo costumes, so they couldn't even like really reach, and he
Mobility
just
all
got
thrown off.
whooped.
It's funny. There was a fight at the Fright Fest I attended too. I don't think it was costume characters. But
Fright Fest
that's
ghetto,
just-
man.
It's
It's
very
very
ratchet
Six
over there,
Flags
yo.
is hood.
That's
Six
ghetto.
Flags
Go
is
to an
hood.
amusement park in New Jersey.
Yeah, like-
Especially Great Adventure in Jersey, something's always going down there.
The thing is like on the top, like Halloween Horror Nights. If you want to go to something like that, go to what Universal does. The Halloween Horror Nights. It's
Yeah.
I've been
Fright
meaning to go
Fest
there.
like way better
I
because
really
the
wanna
cool
go
thing is they
next
get to
year.
use like all these licensed properties and make like little attractions and scares like based off those. Like I think I remember they had a Stranger Things one, Us. I think they did Five Nights at Freddy's
They had The
one
Walking
year.
Dead last year.
Yeah, like
They had a Chucky one. They used to have this. It wasn't really a ride. It was like a show. They used to do a Chucky Insult,
like Insult
Emporium.
yeah.
I used to get a kick out of it. I used to watch all the videos on YouTube, and it was to me it was hilarious because he would just rip on the crowd.
Even outside of the Halloween stuff, I think Islands of Adventure, especially and Universal, have the best parks in general.
Yeah, no. If you're gonna go down there, those are the
That's the Marvel
the
licensed
number
one, right?
one.
Islands of
Yeah.
Islands of
Yeah.
Adventure, yeah. 'Cause they-
And aren't they turning that into the whole Nintendo world with the Mushroom Kingdom? And
Yeah, they're adding
Hyrule?
more land to
They're
it as
adding
well.
more.
That they added more land.
I'm
Okay,
hoping,
okay.
I'm saying,
More
don't take
land.
away
They
one.
just
no,
added
no.
Toy Story too recently.
The Nintendo world. I'm
That's
super
crazy.
excited for
I
because there's so much they can do with that.
You
Like
talking Mushroom Kingdom, Hyrule.
the Lilac system, you could do like these will all be different like
Metroid?
sections.
You get to fight Tyson for. No, I was kidding.
Punch Out.
Punch Out
He's got a residency there.
Aerial view of the
Oh,
one.
wow.
Wow.
that's the one in
Cool.
Japan,
Yeah,
right?
That's the one in
And
Japan.
they're bringing it to Orlando, I believe. Yeah.
Mhm, yeah, because the
We
deal
definitely gotta
is
go
with
to that.
Universal.
Yeah.
So I was so glad, like Universal.
And that's gonna be a fun time. I remember growing up playing the Wii. Those
Yeah,
games are
like,
like
all these like properties they can make like rides and attractions out of. Like so,
That'd be
I'm just like
great.
because they already got stuff like Disneyland has like the race car track, so
Tomorrowland,
they could
yeah.
do like the Mario Kart,
right.
Like that could be a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, you know they're gonna do that.
Yeah. As far as like items, I don't think that, but you'll have some.
They give you banana peels.
Yeah,
to
here
throw at
you
each
go.
other.
You know what'd be cool? And this might be next level, but
Here's a
if
green
they-
shell.
No, if they have like
There's a turtle in here.
let's say you drive right, and the cars like can talk to each other. They have like technology to do that. So something pops up on the screen, you press a button, and then the banana peel comes, so somebody spins out.
And
a
your
little
car
bit.
like because it probably will be on the track,
or
like
it
depending on how
stops,
they do
or
it.
he stops, you go ahead. So that'd be cool.
Yeah.
gonna apply to be a ride designer.
I might well.
I think you should do a Mike Tyson Punch Out ride. If you go there with the code, you automatically skip the line to fight Tyson.
You just get your shit.
You gotta sign a
rocked.
waiver.
Yeah, not waiver.
I can see a Super Mario like
The list
Galaxy
of
roller
incidents
coaster
at Mike
though.
Tyson's Punch Out
I know,
page is
right?
gonna be.
An 89-year-old woman went on to the Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
And got her block knocked off, literally just
Literally,
like
her
that
head
black.
her head came off of her shoulder.
Just like that black dude,
Yeah,
and Jason Takes Manhattan. He shot the
sick.
fade.
Because I'm trying to wonder, like, if they'll have a Magic Kingdom, Mushroom Kingdom. It could be like Magic Kingdom was Mushroom Kingdom.
You guys
so.
got me planning a post-Corona trip to
Man,
Orlando
'cause
We
now.
are
like, it's gonna
going.
be like this is gonna be sold out for
Everybody
like
going.
a year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
you
like
know what I
Harry
mean?
Potter World, how that was like.
Yeah.
Star Wars, they did like a cap. They were like, only selling a certain amount of
This
tickets.
is it.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
imagine them doing the same thing.
For the Star Wars Rise of Resistance ride, you'd literally have to be at Hollywood Studios like 7 o'clock in the morning before
Yeah.
they open to get a pass for the ride.
Wow.
I'm doing it though.
Yeah, I would do it too.
I say once this pandemic is over, we should all do a Camp Nos trip to Disney World
With
down in
the-
Florida and Universal Studios.
Live vlog.
Live vlog.
I'm in.
We should totally do it.
I'm down.
I'm down.
I'm down.
That
Let's
sounds
totally.
great.
I
do it.
wish
We might have to buy flash passes though.
Oh no, we
Yeah.
definitely do.
Oh no,
The
we
whole
just go, we go
experience.
in the off season.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we could do that.
I don't know. Sometimes, well, yeah, because in the off season, I'm not gonna lie. Like
gotta
sometimes
keep it
I
hurricane
enjoy going through the line walkthroughs because it's just the atmosphere that they
I agree
put
with
you
that.
in. Like it's all cool. Like
They
my
have cool,
favorite
like,
is
little things to read and stuff like that.
yeah. Like my favorite is like when you go on the Mummy coaster. Like that's like my favorite. You know,
I love that ride.
I don't mind waiting when there's a long wait in there because it's just so dark and scary in there, and it's just got the big ass like ancient Egyptian statues in there. Like,
What was your earliest time going to Universal? For any of you, do you remember?
I vaguely remember.
I think I was.
I vaguely remember.
I think
too.
I was 7.
because his mom had took me. That's my earliest memory of going.
I was
We took a
5.
trip when we were 5.
I was 5.
I was 7.
Well, I was 5.
And I was 7, and they
Yeah.
just opened. I remember the first time I went, they just opened. God, I'm showing my age, but they just opened the Universal one in Florida. And the first time I went, I was 7, and we did not have a good time because nothing worked. Nothing worked.
Sorry, kid.
Nothing worked. I couldn't
Yeah.
ride. The ET ride wasn't working. The only thing I remember us doing was the Alfred Hitchcock, and my dad being so pissed that he actually went and got our money back.
Wow.
That's literally we rode 2 rides, and that was it. We did the Alfred wasn't even a ride; it was a show, and I think we did the earthquake one because King Kong had technical difficulties.
King Kong always had
confrontation.
Confrontation. The Jaws, like nothing was working. I went to Nickelodeon Studios hoping I was gonna get on Double Dare, and I didn't. I was very upset, but I did get slime and find out that slime is nothing more than the Nickelodeon slime is green applesauce. But it was so gross. But it was warm. I guess I still remember it was warm. But then the second time I went, I think I was like 10, and I had like a better time. And my favorite ride there was the Back to the Future ride.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but here's the thing, I ruined my own childhood magic. I think the second time I rode it,
Did you look around?
I looked around.
Yeah.
I did. I looked, and you see all the cars, and it just. I said,
It takes you out of the experience.
It took me out of the
Don't do it.
experience, and I regret it to this day that I did it because it was one of my favorite rides. The experience of it, I loved it. But yeah, that's for me.
I'm more of a thrill person. I really like the Incredible Hulk ride that they have at Universal.
Because it just
Yeah,
shoots
shoots
you
you
out.
right
This
out.
man, he lost his hat when we went on.
Did. Yeah, I did. It was like one of my was the skater brand DC.
Yeah.
I wore that hat for the whole
Stuff.
I know. But okay, real quick, just to go back, while we stay on this, just to go back to the incidents that happens. I was reading that this happened at either Six Flags, Dorney Park, one of these crazy places. But somebody did lose their hat on the roller coaster. The idiot goes over the fence after he gets
I
off
heard about that.
to get his hat. And it's one of those rides where your legs are free, kind of like the Batman ride.
Right.
And literally gets his head kicked off.
Whoa.
Trying to get his
I,
hat.
heard,
That's-
I think it was Superman. I read it.
It might, yeah. You see
Bro,
the
it's
Superman.
I read about it. I don't
That's some
remember.
Final Destination stuff right there.
It's just a hat.
It's stupidity. Like that, you could get a million. You know how many gift shops are in this theme park, bro? Just go get another one, bro. You gonna risk it? Now you got your head kicked off, and imagine being on the ride. You having the time of your life. Yeah, man, screaming. This is it. It's fucking lit.
Scar for life.
And you look down. You think maybe you hit a bird or something, and you realize there's some
somebody-
brain matter, someone's eye, some
The guy,
teeth,
the guy's body's still moving. He's like,
like a chicken walking around with his head off.
Wow.
Wow.
That's dark.
I feel bad for the person that connected with his head with their foot. They're scarred. Like,
They probably sued.
Yeah.
oh yeah, they had to
I
get money.
would've. Shit, the settlement.
Well, I'll go straight to therapy after that.
Yeah.
Did you see when the supermodel Fabio went on a roller coaster and he hit a duck with his face? Like
That
a
duck
duck with slime,
exploded,
and
yeah.
he came off the roller coaster covered in blood and like feathers and stuff like that.
I would be scarred for life. Anybody knows me, I hate birds. I'd probably be in a mental psychiatric ward right now in the corner of rocking back and forth like dum dum today.
Yeah, see, the worst that's happened to me, it wasn't even me though. I was on El Toro at Six Flags and someone's yarmulke came off and almost hit me in the head. I was like,
Well, of course, a yarmulke. Them things barely look like they stay on when they just walking around. Man. They have them like
nearly hit me in the head.
Oh,
I
they
was,
usually got the clips that keep them on.
I was like,
little tiny ass.
Well, I will say I want to give a since we're talking about that, I want to give a big shout out to my brother Joe. My brother Joe saved my life when we were kids. We were 13 years old. We were at Great Adventure, and we were on Skull Mountain. And there was and it was in the dark, but you could kind of see a little bit. There was like a beam, and Joe said, "Greg, duck." I go, "What?" And he goes, "Whoa." And literally, you see the bar just go, whoosh.
See, I know what you're talking about because like I see those things, but I think it's more perception. Like it looks like you're going to hit it, but you actually won't.
But until you actually do,
because you gotta admit, if y'all were on there, like the millions of people that were on there would have died and got decapitated.
Yeah, the people in front of you would have definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just said
Exactly,
dump, and I was like,
like-
what? He was like, whoosh. And to this day, he's mad because he could have got money for his emotional distress. If I would have died on that ride. He's like, I had to just save your life. I could have been a millionaire. I'd have been scarred. I'd have had $1 million, but I still love you, Joe.
Like I said,
Thank you for saving my life,
I
brother.
think you would have been completely fine.
He knows that he's just guilting you now. He's got you in his pocket.
But now, like thinking about like some of my earliest like memories, like these theme parks, like a lot of this stuff, like they're not there no more. Like my favorite show, like was the Ghostbusters show that they had.
That was a good one.
It was
Yes.
amazing. And the technology blew my mind as a kid because
That shit scared the hell out of me because
it
they
looks
bought
like-
real Stay Puft.
Yeah, the big ass head that shows up right there, and I lost my fucking mind. I was losing my mind before that because the way they do like the reflection off the light, like it looks like actual ghosts, like you know what I mean? Like it looked like it felt like I was actually in the movie.
This is
like,
at Universal?
This was at Universal. It was a live show of the Ghostbusters. So say like you go in there, you get a little presentation by Louis Tully. He's explaining everything. Then he brings you outside. Then Walter Peck comes out and he shuts down the power grid just like in the movie. And then all the ghosts show up and on stage. And the Ghostbusters come out, save the day. And the music's playing and all that good stuff. And the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, giant big ass dome shows up, pissed as fuck. And they, see
Look
all
at
that
fucking-
like
look at
those
Slimer.
and the lights, they didn't look cheap. Like if you even see a video of it, like all these like effects
Like,
look
they look
really
good.
They look good for that time. It looked really
this was
good.
amazing.
They should bring
if
it
they
back.
had this
They should bring it
now,
back.
like imagine what it would look like now.
They
Like,
should
if
bring
they
it
still
back.
have it.
Meanwhile,
They should, with Ghostbusters still being a very popular
Yeah.
franchise and when
new
movies
IP
still
coming
being
out.
made. So it's like I would love to see the Spooktacular show come back in some sort of sense.
Camp
you know
Nos,
what I mean?
we're gonna do a petition to get the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, like, look at that
back.
shit.
and meanwhile, I'm here getting roasted by the Monsters Inc. show in Disney. Like
That's I love that.
I love that
thing.
show.
Yeah.
They roast the hell out you, but I
Yeah.
love it because Monsters Inc. is probably my favorite like Pixar
I like that.
film. I love Monsters Inc. and I went on that and I was upset because I didn't get insulted.
No, I got
was-
roasted.
I didn't get roasted at all. I didn't get chosen.
roasted.
I was like, I felt gypped.
Wait, what ride is this?
It's not a ride.
it's like a
more of
show.
It's an interactive show. Yeah.
Yeah. And like pretty much the Monsters Inc. 'Cause I mean, if you've seen it, you know the ending
Mike Wazowski.
that they changed from scaring to making the kids laugh.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that same premise, but except that they're roasting you. Like they literally are roasting you.
Yeah, you basically go to like a comedy show with
With Monsters Inc. characters?
Yeah.
So
That sounds awesome.
they're putting the camera like on someone, then you show up on like the screen and everything, and then they have some guy in the back that's like wearing the monsters, like just improving like the whole time.
I'd love to go to that stuff.
I was having a good time. Then the lights. It's funny because it's dark, and then the light points on you. And it's like, look at this guy. I was like, ah.
Put the spotlight on them and make it hot. Got you.
And like some of the rides, like they keep around, they just update it to new things. Like you were talking about, like the Back to the Future ride, like it's the same thing, but now they have it as the Simpsons ride. It still looks great. Like they redecorated the outside, so you like got
They
Krusty
redid
Land.
that whole area though.
Yeah.
It was like they did like a Springfield. You got the Duff Brewery.
You got the Quickie Mart over there also.
Flaming
they?
Mo.
You get yourself a,
It do they?
you get yourself a
Leroy.
squishy.
I got myself a flaming.
Yeah,
I got a flaming Mo last
You get a
time.
flaming Mo.
Oh, do you know what ride that they had there? I don't know if they have it. They probably don't, but I actually enjoyed it. It was another like moving type ride. It was the Hanna-Barbera ride.
Yeah.
They have
Before
it there.
Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, they have it there, and then it became Jimmy Neutron's like Nicktoons, which I really enjoyed because it wasn't just limited to Jimmy Neutron. You kind of went through a bunch of different Nicktoons, like Hey Arnold, SpongeBob, Rugrats,
And they updated it,
and then they
too.
updated again, so now it's Minions. 'Cause
Oh, well.
Minions have to be
No,
everywhere.
I mean, like they would update it based on like newer Nickelodeon
Yeah.
shows.
Oh,
So like
okay,
I think
that's
at the
cool.
end of it, it was like the newer shows. If I'm not
Maybe
mistaken.
Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
But I loved that ride. I forgot. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
still
Thanks
still
for
still
fucking
there.
knowing
It's
that.
just Minions.
Nah, but that Krusty Land area of the park looks amazing.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
not
It's
for
so
nothing.
much
No,
fun.
they put they put production value up in there. I know They had the Men in Black ride. I think that's still there.
Yeah,
which is
that's a
another
classic.
another fun ride.
Can you win that ride?
Apparently you can.
Oh,
But
wow.
even when you do, like I looked up what the
I
other
gotta know
ending-
because I keep losing.
Yeah, I always lose
he
too.
loses
I
every
came back
time.
like 13 years later. I'm like, I'm a grown
I'm like,
man now.
what
I
is
can do it.
I'm like, what is the
Playing
hidden
shooters.
aliens that you have to hit to get all these crazy amount of points? Like,
We gotta look it up. We're gonna look it up.
The
We're gonna
alternate
train,
ending,
and when
yeah.
we do the little Camp Nos trip, we're gonna win. It's gonna be a goal.
I remember we went and Jay, we took that trip when it was the four of us, and then of course, you know, your boy Jay had the least amount of points because this dude decides he wanted to dual wield 2 different guns.
Yo, he
Very ambitious.
no, we feel like yo, put
couldn't
the gun
hit.
down.
He couldn't hit
can't
shit. I don't
aim.
even know if he made like 10,000 points between the
did
2
it.
guns that he had. So
Yeah, like 3,000 points or something like that. And then we looked at him when he got the ride, like, bruh, really?
But I heard like either way, depending on how many points you get, I think Will Smith still normalizes you at the end of the.
I-
That's the
ride
thing. If you
regardless.
win, they draft you into the actual Men in Black, and then you can't talk to your family anymore.
Yeah, that's it. It's over for you. You know, that's
I
life.
I used
the
to
goal.
I used to really
the,
enjoy.
the setup for that ride is good too, because going back to like the Mummy, like going
make
through like
an
the MIB
experience.
like headquarters and everything. Like,
Well, that's what reminds me of one of my favorite rides at Universal was the ET ride. And it felt
Which
like
is
when
still there.
Still there,
It's still there.
still
Like,
there.
when-
Yeah.
I love that experience. Like you would
Going
like
through
going
the
through the
forest.
Riding on the bike.
forest. You're
Yeah.
riding the bike. You get to go to ET's home planet, which was dope. And then he says your name at the end.
Yeah, I
And
forgot about
my name, dumb me, instead of saying, "Hey, Greg," I said Gregory, and he's like, "Bye, Gregor," and I'm like already gone. I hear Reed all the way. I'm getting go. He said my name. No, that was Johnny. He said, sir.
Life hack, put 1 to 2 syllable names at that ride.
see, I think that Twister attraction, that's what they got rid of Spooktacular for. That very lousy, lackluster Twister.
Basically,
show.
giant fan.
Yeah, it's so boring.
Is it? Okay, because I
It's-
remember
it's
going there
nothing.
when I was little, and I was too scared to go on there, and then I regretted not going on it. But it sounds like I made
you
the
saved
right
you saved you
choice.
saved yourself time and like an hour-long wait in line for absolutely nothing. Like like you just stand on like a little platform. It's like you see the little farm town. You see like the little tornado. You see the cow.
I will say,
Thunder, some rain. The floor like drops a little bit.
I
That's
will
it.
I will admit Twister was a bit lame,
Super lame.
but Disaster felt real.
Disaster was good because
Disaster
because
felt
it used to be
legit.
Earthquake before that, so
Yeah.
they basically just updated it, made it, more intense. Which again, that's what you should
It
do.
worked
You know
out.
what I mean?
Same thing for the Jaws ride, because if you on that Jaws ride, if you sat on the left side,
Oh no!
you felt
Oh.
that heat when the explosion happened.
Fire.
Oh,
Fire
You
bad.
literally feel like it's.
I came off that ride, thought I had 3rd-degree burn. I felt like Two-Face from Batman. Like it was this side of the face. I was sure it was just charred off.
Fire bad.
How do you guys feel about the Jurassic Park ride? I enjoyed it a lot.
The
to be
new
honest.
updated
I
one?
like
I
the
like
updated
it.
one.
I'm hoping
I
that they
like it.
updated
They
though.
did.
They
Oh,
did.
did
They
Yeah,
did.
I
I
think
thought-
Yeah.
I saw like I mean I haven't wrote it obviously, but like I saw like video of it, and it's like you go under, you see like the big like whatever dinosaur that's in the water, and like it looked real. I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
So
okay.
they updated the animatronics?
Yeah,
Or
the
like
animatronics looked a lot
Yeah,
better.
they
Okay.
updated animatronics.
It's all
and they have like a
CGI
big,
now.
it's like a big huge drop now.
It's
like
real
the drop is bigger.
dinosaurs.
Because that's the thing I hate. I don't like when they update. I love animatronics. Keep it as animatronics, especially with the technology you have now. You can make animatronics look and move super
They
realistic.
put an
Yeah,
animatronic
no, yeah,
triceratops
there's
outside.
dinosaurs.
Yeah,
actually
that's what I'm
there.
saying. They can still look good. I hate when they update and you get like some
Screens?
3D screens.
Yeah, I like that. I'm not a fan of
Yeah,
stuff like
like
that.
Confrontation. Look, that big giant fucking gorilla animatronic, man, amazing.
Yeah.
Now we have a stupid 3D screen going through on like some like truck or whatever you're on. It's
I think
just-
it works
doesn't
with the
have
Harry
same
Potter
feel.
ride though. The Harry
With
Potter,
Harry Potter ride is fine
ride,
because that Harry Potter ride is a mix of both. So
Both,
when you
yeah.
do something like that, okay, I can. That's fine because like say like the best part of that ride is when you get to like the forest and the big ass spiders
yeah.
come down and even the what was it, the Death Eaters, is that what they call
Yeah,
them?
the
Yeah,
little
Death Eaters.
Yeah, when they show up, like that
That
shit is
looks
intense.
real. It
That
looks
shit is
scary.
scary. There's like, nah, we can't waste this on 3D screens. No, we got to make actual animatronics.
I remember me and
Like,
Anthony
that's
actually
part
rode
of
the
it.
ride twice.
Yeah,
The ride
a
was
couple
on.
times.
It's worth it. Like I said, if you're gonna do it like that, combine both of it, but don't limit it to just only screens like they did with the new Kong ride. Like it's so disappointing, especially compared to what it used to be. Like
I
being
agree.
on
How
that.
was the King Kong ride?
Because you
just
gotta wear like
straight
3D
down?
glasses
Yeah,
for it.
It takes you out of
It's
it.
so
like-
I never got
trash.
to go on the original one, but I wasn't a fan of the new
Oh
one.
man, the
Oh,
original
the
one was
original was
amazing.
great.
Going in that what is it called? Tram trolley
Yeah,
or
the tram.
whatever it is.
I was
You're
so
like
young
above
when I
a
went, but I
on
remember
fire,
it, 'cause
fucked
that
up New York City, and the line even smells like a New York subway. Like the ambience, like they nailed like perfectly.
Even when that ET ride, it smells like the forest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
either
I
that or
got-
was that Florida's mucky water.
Do I got a story for y'all?
Tell it.
Tell it.
So for the studio tour in Hollywood, I was on tour with my pop at the time, and he was like, we're in California, it's the last leg of the tour. He's like, Christian, we're going to go to Universal Studios. I was like, what is that? You going to find out. So he was so excited to take me. We'd go around the park, rode Back to the Future, the ride for the first time. Fucking loved it there. And then my dad was like, hey, Christian, you want to go on the studio tour on the Hollywood backlot? I was like, hell yeah. So we're going through it, and they're seeing all the old movie props and shit like that, like staged events and all that bullshit. But there's one part that is Amity Park for Jaws. And my dad, at the beginning of the ride, was like, hey, Christian, sit on this side.
Oh, he set you up.
Set you up.
Yeah.
And he
set
was
you up,
like,
son.
sit on the right. I was like, okay. So we get to the Amity Park part of the ride. I hadn't seen Jaws at this point, by the way. So we get there, I see the fin coming out, so I'm like, what the fuck? Is that a shark? And then my dad, I swear to God, went, hey, Christian, yo, look in the water right there. And I look over to the train. Whew!
So how long did it take for your eyebrows to grow back?
No, not the explosion. The shark.
Oh, the shark. Oh.
This scared the daylights out of me. I was pissed at him for the rest. Like I like kid mad at him because you're like, all right, you bought me here, but like that was foul, old man.
That
was not cool.
I have a very similar story. My dad did something similar to me like that, but I was 4. And it was the first time we went to Disney World. And my dad, but I told you, my dad was like, what I'm doing, you're doing. And he wanted to ride Space Mountain. Mind you, I'm only 4. I've never been on a roller coaster day of my life. I'm happy that I'm coming off the Peter Pan ride, crying out loud. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. We go on this ride. You know the roller coaster in the dark. Soon it gets to the park, you know if you've ever been in Space Mountain and go through like that tunnel. I'm like, oh, the lights, this is cool. Soon it gets to the dark part. I'm like,
He wasn't ready for that takeoff.
I'm screaming. He's having a great old time. I'm scarred because after that, I literally never rode a roller coaster until I was like 10 again. And then like I'm crying. My dad's like, "You'll be fine." And then like you could totally see that my dad like getting a little scared because he has to tell my mom. And my mom like, she's like, "Why is he crying?" Well, he's like, "Yeah, he went on the ride and stuff." She's like, "Why did you take him on there? Why did you take that baby on there? He is only 4." And I'm like crying like, "Oh."
It's funny. The same thing
I just
happened to
want
me.
Peter Pan.
Exactly. All I wanted was to see Donald Duck. And
But yeah, the same thing happened to me, but with the ride now, the new like update on it, it takes off while you're in that colored room, and I'm like, what is happening? I'm
Wow.
like, yeah, it was actually.
I remember Mario Lopez being on this, like when you're in that ride and they have like the screen and they're doing like this little like this fake. I can't remember, but it was like a fake like futuristic channel, and he was in it, and it was just so random. I was like, Mario, what the fuck are you doing?
Sponsorship.
Because a couple of rides, like, yeah, they have The Rock on, I think he's on Disaster, because it's supposed to be like some Hollywood movie. Christopher Walken is on.
That's
It might be
hilarious.
Disaster also. I think they have like, that ride is just packed with like a bunch of.
And then
celebrity
Fallon
cameos.
has his own ride.
Which is weird.
He's
It's
on
like
the,
some
he's
ride.
on the Hollywood.
I heard it's actually a
tour,
pretty
isn't
good
he?
ride.
Is it really?
I
Be a
heard.
judge of that.
I remember Fallon.
I
We'll
need
see,
to.
we'll
I
see.
need to
Jimmy
see
Fallon
that.
was
I've
first.
never gotten on it,
Jimmy
but I've heard
Fallon
some
was
good
the
things.
host of the screen on like the Hollywood backlot ride, backlot ride when I went. Like when you go into like the studio and stuff. I don't know if he has another one.
Well,
No, like he has his own.
Like his
own,
dedicated
like, roller
ride.
coaster.
Oh, it's
yeah,
like
like
yeah.
Race to
Jimmy
New
Fallon.
York.
It was like-
with
it
the
replaced-
Jimmy Fallon roller
Yeah.
coaster.
It replaced Twister, so it's a motion simulator.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank goodness.
So it's just Jimmy
That-
Fallon yelling at you.
Laughing at everything non-funny that you say.
It's a very stressful
They had the Roots
ride.
playing. The Roots playing in the back.
Playing
Questlove
all the-
pops out.
See,
It's literally him and a
that's
go kart
fucking
racing with your go kart.
that's fucking hilarious because they actually did do the music for it,
Oh God.
Gotta be authentic.
and I
Hey,
love the
I'm
Roots.
not mad at it. I'm not mad at
They
it.
got
I'm
their
not
money.
mad at it.
I heard the Fast and Furious ride is atrocious, and I watched like the video of it, and I'm just like, this is $1 billion franchise. It's like they put no money into it. It's like another typical, because you know, like the Transformers ride is pretty much like the same thing, which I'm assuming what this Race New York Jimmy Fallon thing is, which I hate. Again, stop doing these screen rides. You know, it works for like rides like the Spider-Man. I think it's amazing on there.
Do you think it's outdated? Do you think they're outdated?
I think they're doing too much of it. That's the thing. When every ride is just the same thing, you're in a cart, you put on 3D glasses, and you're just watching screens the whole time. It's
I agree.
like,
It takes you out of it.
Yeah, it's like.
Well, when you're wearing the glasses, it automatically takes you out of it because it's like, all right, I know none of this is real. Where rides like Back to the Future and The Simpsons, even though they're motion simulators, and even though you ruined it for yourself, you fool.
I did.
Like,
Don't do that.
they're fun because you can. The way that they do it, it feels tangible.
Yeah.
Even with The Simpsons being fucking cartoons.
Personally, I wish The Simpsons would have had like a cart sort of ride with it. I did enjoy the motion ride, but I feel like it could have been better if
Like
they
an
would've-
actual
the actual
coaster?
coaster.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It's like one of my favorite rides there.
One of my favorite shows at any theme park, okay, I challenge anybody to contest this, was Captain EO. Michael Jackson.
Yeah, they had brought that back for a few years.
when he passed
right
away.
after when he died, they brought it back. Yeah.
I finally
Captain
watched it.
EO.
Captain EO, which was a Michael Jackson
fucking
3D
weird.
show.
It's but it's
It's
so
3D
good.
show. It was like its
Well,
own attraction.
it's a 3D movie, but it's like a little short, like 8-minute,
Okay.
film.
Jim Henson.
It's everything you expect out of a Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
It's,
Jim Henson did
you
like
know.
the puppets and everything, and Michael Jackson saves the universe through dance and
And this was
song.
during, I think George Lucas had done
Look
this.
at that poster. This is amazing.
Yeah.
That show was amazing.
Written by George Lucas and directed by Francis Ford
Coppola.
What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Only Michael Jackson can get that like
Exactly.
caliber.
Dream
of-
team.
leverage.
And Angelica Houston. I remember she played like the evil like witch queen.
Has
Yeah.
George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola ever worked together?
Probably not.
No, they did. No, they
That
had.
the
no,
thing that brought the two.
no,
greats
no, they
together?
did. They did. They were best friends. They went to. I think it was Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, and Brian De Palma. They all went to film school together.
But did they
and
ever make something together?
They didn't make anything together. That was
Besides
probably
that.
the first time they did. But no, but they helped each other on projects. Like I could be wrong, but I think Francis Ford Coppola helped George Lucas when he did American Graffiti.
Yes.
Yeah, he helped them. So they did kind of work together. They were like best friends, and I think they kind of like not part of ways, but they kind of went their own ways when Francis Ford Coppola went and did The Godfather and everything like that. But yeah, they were
Captain EO's was
Captain
true
EO.
collaboration. Damn, I didn't even know about this. This is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
That's like I just saw the video for the Michael Jackson song with Eddie Murphy for the first time.
Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? That's how you sound.
No,
What's
that
up? What's up?
Oh, that was another good ride.
Maybe I'll play that when I'm DJ.
Trust the audience.
I liked that.
I like that one
That
too.
was like more of a movie where you sat through it and you were just kind of part of it, but like I like shit like that. I like Shrek 4D.
I like the theme park. I'm sorry. I like the theme park, like the little theme like playground that they had at Hollywood Studios. I don't know if they still have it there, but like, cause you got to go on like the plant slide and everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I don't think it's still there because I do remember that when I was a kid, and they had like the giant like what's the ice cream? The Good and Humor strawberry shortcake. They had like a whole like a bunch of like food and everything like dropped down like giant size ones, but it hasn't been there for a while. Yeah.
Speaking of theme park ice cream, what's your opinion on Dippin' Dots? Because I feel like that's like the theme park ice cream.
They a go-to. I mean,
I haven't had them in so
the only
long.
reason-
I feel like I
Yeah.
can only find them at theme parks.
I haven't.
now.
Exactly.
I used to see them in like Newport Mall. They had like a
carry
little.
around.
Yeah,
They
the,
no
the
mess.
ice cream of the future. Well, we're in the future, and ice cream is still the same.
It's decent. Like they'll
Cherry
do.
Garcia, still the
I
same.
love the giant like turkey legs though.
Yeah, the
like,
turkey
those
legs
are one
are
of like
good.
my go-to things to get. And
Yeah,
Universal has like a really good like fried chicken spot. I don't know if it's still there. It was in like the Jaws area.
I ate at the Bubba Gumps, and the fish there was
Bubba
amazing.
Gumps. Bubba
Like the
Gumps
city,
is a go-to.
the city,
City
walk,
Walk
is
was-
City Walk
very
was great,
nice.
yeah.
Like, cause I even love how City Walk is still open till like 3 a.m. Even
It's like
in
a
the park.
party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
It's hurting me that I can't remember the name
We
of
gonna
it.
be out there.
But in Hollywood Studios, there's a restaurant, if anyone can remember the name, where you're in a drive-through movie
Oh,
theater.
I know exactly
and I
what you're
can't
talking about
remember
at
the name.
Disney.
At Disney, and I can't remember the name. But
I don't know.
it's a drive-through. Like there's like fake cars and stuff like that, and you actually sit inside them while you eat.
Oh, that's cool.
Really?
Oh,
That's
I
cool.
know what you're talking about with
Yeah.
the fake cars. Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's
That was
actually-
like one of my favorite places to go.
It was my favorite place. It's right there. The
This-
sci-fi dine-in, yes.
Is it still there? Or-
Yeah,
I'm about to
it's
say,
still
I've
there.
never heard of that.
Oh,
So
we
you-
gotta hit it up, fellas.
It's a pretty fun time.
Yeah.
There's supposed someone apparently has been trying to do something like this as a franchise for a while. I would love that.
That's awesome.
And then
I
right
think
after
that's
there,
such a cool idea.
Yeah.
I went to go see Fantasmic. It was a great time.
Oh, they is. Wait, no, I'm thinking of something else.
Where Mickey like fights the dragon.
You thinking of Fantasia?
Fantasia, sorry, Fantasia, yeah.
Fantasia.
Because I'm thinking, I know they have the Mickey's or Disney's Philharmonic little
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, it was
at,
Fantasia, yeah.
I think you said Phantasm.
That-
No, I said
Like,
Fantasmic.
God, they
I
got
had no
movies
idea what I was
with-
thinking about there.
Oh man.
You know, definitely gotta go there.
Yeah, that and this is in
In Florida.
Florida? Is
Yep.
it Florida?
Orlando.
in which park is this at?
I don't know.
Wait,
No, it says Disney.
I think the,
Disney
um,
Sci-Fi
It said
Dine-In.
Orlando.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Is that a Disney World?
Because I never
no, yeah, this is at Disney World,
Florida.
Oh, it's in Disney,
Yeah.
Disney Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios.
Disney
yeah.
Disney World.
Oh, Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, how much the meal plans cost? You
Well,
know,
that's the
like
thing.
that.
Hollywood Studios seems to be the one that updates like the most like frequently, like out of all the Disney parks. Like they're just constantly always like changing and updating. Like, is that what's the ride? that you
Toy
go on,
Story
like,
Mania, or
I know that one's still
That's there, yeah.
Of course, it's Toy Story. But there's ones like Man's Chinese Theater, and you go through like
Oh, the Great Movie
Great
Ride.
Great Movie Ride.
they
That's what I'm
replaced that
thinking.
with a ride for Mickey and Minnie. It's actually called Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, I believe.
Boo.
And
Boo this man.
that's what they took it out for. They like
They could have
just took
kept
it out.
this, but just update it to like more modern.
Now I know
movies,
they
like-
did this at the one in California, I believe. I don't know if they did this in Florida. Did they change the Tower of Terror to the
Guardians, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Not in
I don't know if
Orlando.
they didn't do
Guardians is
in
Florida.
Florida.
Not in
yeah.
Florida.
In Florida. Okay,
They
that's
did
what I
in
just wanted to know
Yeah.
because I know they did it in California, but I didn't know if they did it in Florida.
Literally the same
Guardians-
thing. I mean,
Speaking of Tower of Terror, does anyone remember that really shitty TV movie that they
Nah.
did for Tower of
I
Terror?
remember, but
Yes,
never
it
watched
was
Vaguely,
the magic,
vaguely.
World of whatever that these. Yes, that was a
Yeah.
horrible freaking movie.
It came on in the hotels.
What was its affiliation with the Twilight Zone? Because it's called Twilight Zone's Tower of Terror.
I don't think it had anything. They were just trying to sell a ride. They were marketing a ride.
It was in black and white and stuff, right?
Yeah, the little opening movie,
Yeah,
and then
like,
even
yeah.
what's his name? Rod
Serling.
Serling. Yeah, even he does the introduction. I think in the beginning. But other than that, like, cause like I watched Twilight Zone, I'm like, there was never an episode.
it's definitely like the Tower of Terror sounds a little too scary for the kids. The
The
Twilight
original,
Zone.
The original Twilight Zone is just amazing. That's another episode on its own, but that's amazing. Although I remember riding the Tower of Terror, and
That's Steve Guttenberg.
that's Mahoney. That is Mahoney from Police Academy.
Kirsten.
Kirsten, yeah, she was in that. If you guys want to see a really old Disney Halloween themed movie, it is on Disney Plus. It was one of my favorites when I was really young. It's called Mr. Boogedy. Look it up, Mr. Boogedy. I was actually shocked that Disney Plus actually had it on there because it's hard to find, and they put it on there. Mr. Boogedy was my jam when I was really little. It did not age well at all. At all, it did not age well. It's just purely for nostalgia purpose. But
What's the one with the imaginary friends that
they
get evil?
Don't look under the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like the lead character, the girl was like 14 in the show, but in real life she was like 22 or something like that. She was like in her early.
Typical Hollywood.
Yes. And I remember they only played it on Disney Channel like only once or twice because it was like actually like
It was scary.
scaring kids.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See, now I
Yeah.
gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Well, scaring kids Disney standards.
Yeah. By the
Don't
Disney
go into
standards.
this.
Yeah, Disney standard.
That's why they went on right.
I'll temper my
Frightening.
expectations.
Because my thing is like when it comes to like stuff in like some kids like movies, cartoons, stuff like the stuff that was kind of like some of the stuff that was kind of like unintentionally scary were like the most scariest things. Like
Dude,
I think
Willy Wonka, bro. The ride, Pure Imagination.
there's
The original?
Yeah, dude. When they going through the
I'm thinking like a real life ride. I was like, no, but yes, in the movie.
I was thinking of the Tim Burton one.
I wouldn't step foot on that if you paid me if they made that into a ride. Fuck
that was actually talked on. I remember this. I don't know when this special came out. I think it came out like, I don't know, 10 years ago. But Bravo had like this special around Halloween, like the 100 scariest movie moments, and that was like I think it was in the top 5.
I bet that's
it was in the top 5.
Fucked up part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's always stuff that's unintentional. And like quick side note, like while on Willy Wonka, like I was watching this video. Like I don't know if you guys know like MatPat. Like he has a bunch of like game theory, film theory, food theory, like stuff on YouTube. So someone like sent in a thing like on Twitter. They were asking like pretty much like, yo, did Willy Wonka intentionally send those like, what was it, 4 golden tickets? 5. It was like, did he intentionally send them to like all white kids? Like did he like, so they did like a whole thing, like a whole study, and like just going through the math, he definitely rigged it so that only like these white kids or only white kids would basically receive the golden tickets.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
I didn't see any black people in the movie.
Because even in one part, because what's the guy that works for him? Like he goes into the store and he gives him like the actual thing because he knows like Charlie or whoever the kid is was going to be there, so to intentionally make sure he got one. So like they all based off like the evidence in the movie, yeah, like based off the evidence in the movie, and then he broke down like the statistics of like where the kids lived and like the the amount of like Caucasian people that lived in like the areas, stuff like that. So it basically like this whole video, if you watch it on film theory. Mm-hmm. Willy Wonka is pretty much a racist.
That guy had way too much time on his hands to come up with that. That was very.
Have you ever seen the real detailed essays about like how much of a piece of shit Grandpa Joe is? Because he just like doesn't move to support the family.
There's a lot of characters you don't realize are just pieces of shit when you're a kid.
Yeah, he was like laying in the bed, all of a sudden like, Granddad, come with me. He's like, well, I haven't walked in years. So let me get out the bed.
Family's starving. I haven't worked at all, but you got this golden ticket. I'm gonna do a little dance.
How do they wash their ass?
Oh my god! On Twitter, someone was like, Disney had posted a picture of Chicken Little and his dad, something about like fatherly love, and then everyone flamed Disney and was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? He was like the worst Disney dad ever."
Yeah, he was terrible.
Like people started doing video essays, and I was like, "Holy shit, you're right. He's like one of the worst Disney parents." Have you ever seen Chicken Little?
Nah.
Yeah, you're probably better off.
Okay.
But like, it's one of like it's that era of Disney films where they just started to start doing CG films.
Okay.
And it shows.
Was that the chicken? Was that the
Zach
one?
Braff.
Zach Braff.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Because like I love those theory videos. Like there was one. This guy had way too much time. I think the guy who did it was autistic. In the 80s, there was this. It was actually Denzel Washington's like first like major acting role. He was on this show called St. Elsewhere. It was like a doctor show. Anyway, long story short, the ending of the series, the entire show takes place in the mind of an autistic boy. So somebody in the internet. Because during that time, like in the late 80s and 90s, there was a lot of like crossover, like with characters and things like that with other actors. So the guy literally took the actors from the show that were on other shows throughout these decades, and it showed that so if it's connected to St. Elsewhere, that if that show was taking place in the mind of an autistic boy, that means all these other shows that took place in the late 80s and early 90s didn't exist either. And I'm like, 1, mind blown. 2, are you autistic? And 3, what are you smoking? Because I need to get some.
I don't know, because like some film theories I see is like, nah, that's a stretch. But there's some that like I genuinely okay, like that's very like plausible. Like I'm trying to think. Like I think when we were at the bar, they were talking about with Con Air, because I never even seen Con Air before until that first time we were at the bar. So what was it? Steve Buscemi's character, like
the little girl in the pool, and how she wasn't really there, and because he brought her up in the beginning of the movie, and he said, "Yeah, I always see this little girl because he killed her." So eventually, you get to the part of the movie where they're all trying to like get the plane together, and he sits down with this little girl who's just sitting in an abandoned pool, looking creepy as hell, and just he's sitting there having a conversation with her, and then eventually when he leaves, he just walks away with a doll. Like an old doll.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, first of all, where her parents? Why is she so dirty?
why the hell was she out in the
Why
middle
was she out in the middle of
in an
nowhere
abandoned
in
pool?
an abandoned pool?
Yeah. So like
So
that I
that's
could like that
plausible.
I
Yeah,
could
that makes
believe, you
sense.
know. That sounds like actual plausible like film theory. I'm trying to think of another. Like the first one, like I really was like looking into it and it made me see the movie different because I was a kid at the time, so I didn't really realize it. I was watching Signs, so it's not even really a theory. It's pretty much confirmed. That thing like once people actually looked and watched into the movie is that they weren't actually aliens, they were demons. Since the whole movie's like undertones and themes is like very like religious based, and you know the fact that was Mel Gibson, he was a preacher, he became a preacher and all that, and the fact that they were like weak to like water or something like that.
Obviously, it was holy water.
And then like even like the crop circles, like one of them is shaped in like a pitchfork and everything. So that was like one of my first times like reading and everything. It made me see the movie in a completely different light. And then looking at everything, I'm like, yeah, they're definitely not aliens.
I'm sorry, like when you mentioned Signs, I kind of just like because because it wasn't because of Signs, because as soon as you mentioned
you
Signs,
gonna mention Scary Movie 3?
just that one scene, because that movie wasn't good, but that one scene when the alien or the demon's like
he was walking hard as hell for no reason. Like, that was literally
only funny part.
The only
I'm
funny
gonna
part.
be the one
funny part. I'm sorry.
and then he to defend Scary Movie 3 because I think it's a funny movie.
I like that scene. I like Brenda in there.
I think it's bad because it followed the Wayans brothers. I think if it was his own movie, it's done by the same guy who did Airplane, and it's real slapstick. It's very different. But I think on its own merit, if you remove it from the Wayans brothers, I think it's a pretty fucking funny movie.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting.
But that scene's hilarious.
It is, but that's interesting that you said that because I never got that from some that they were demons and that I thought they were like
I'm
aliens.
gonna
I'm
rewatch
telling you,
Now I'm
watch
gonna
that movie
rewatch it
over,
now.
and
Watch
there's
it
so
again.
many signs.
Yeah.
Like I said, the fact that him being a preacher, the whole thing with the water, the pitchfork, crop circles. I think there's like a couple of more other things in there because the whole movie deals with him like he lost his faith after his wife died, and now there's tracking like these demons like coming to Earth and all that. So I'm telling you, if you watch the movie, you'll see like all these scenes. It's gonna make you be like, yeah, they're not aliens. They're definitely demons.
Yeah, definitely gonna watch it again.
Gotcha.
I think we were having like going to like the Scary Movie because I remember we having that discussion like. I don't know why you still think Scary Movie 2 is
I'm
better
sorry,
than
I
one.
just-
I like Scary Movie 2, but it's the best one in the film. The best one in the franchise is definitely the first movie.
The first movie is also so funny if you watch it directly after watching Scream.
Exactly.
Because there's so many like line for line.
That's what I'm saying.
things.
They go
Yeah.
like when the thing with Wayans Brothers, they go for detail with their parodies. Like they're wearing the same exact clothes.
Deep cut.
They're saying the exact same lines. They're just making it comedic and everything. Like
I'm mad they don't do films like that no more.
Yeah.
because they oversaturated it at one point in like the mid 2000s where it's just
Jason
like
Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer.
Yeah, was it
with their
epic movie,
superhero
date
movie, date movie,
I hated those fucking.
They're trash.
Meet the
disaster
Spartans,
movie, Meet the Spartans.
Vampires Suck.
I
Vampire
paid money
Suck,
to see
yeah.
Vampires Suck. I don't know why the fuck I did that. Because I went on a date. I thought that's what she wanted to see it, and I was like, all right, fine. I'm just sitting there the whole movie like, and she's laughing, which I'm low-key judging. And she'll look over at me, and I'll be like, I'll never forget that shit.
I would have gave money for Uber and be like, I gotta go.
Because I think I remember, I think I told you I walked out of Scary Movie 5. I didn't pay for it because at the time I still knew people that worked at the movie theater.
I don't even know. who
Wait,
did
you
that
walked
movie.
out of Scary
Scary Movie 5, yeah. Walked
That's
out
the
of it.
only movie I've ever walked out on.
Yeah?
Couldn't
That's
do
how
it.
bad the movie is.
I
I'm
walked
telling
out
you,
on
like,
Avatar last night.
Was that the one where they made fun of Saw?
No,
That was 4.
That was 4. What was 5? That was-
4 was like War of the Worlds and
5 was
Saw.
like,
5 was like, what was that movie?
'Cause 5
Mama,
didn't have-
Mother, or something like that?
That Paranormal Activity, all those movies. It had
What was
Ashley-
They did an Evil Dead
5
parody
didn't
at one
have
point.
anybody from the originals anymore. Like Anna Faris.
So, okay, that's
wasn't
why I
even
went under
in
the
it.
radar like that.
It was like completely.
Yeah, they had Mac Miller and Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
in
God.
there.
Were they?
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah, 5 was like
We need
each
to
movie
bring back the golden age of parody movies.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
airplane movies were great. Scary movie. I just Don't Be a Menace.
Was Dance Flick any good?
It was
Dance Flick
alright.
had his moments.
It had its moments.
It was.
See, that's
had,
why
it
there's
had
a
more
market for it.
stupid
It's your
parts
boy.
that it
Yeah.
did like
Yeah.
funny, but it was.
It had its moments.
Yeah.
And they did the haunted house movies too, right? Wayans Bros.
Well, just one.
Marlon
Marlon
That was just
Wayans
Marlon
did
did
it.
it. And I'm a firm believer
50
Marlon
Shades
needs Sean.
Freed.
Oh yeah, 50 Shades of
and then
Black.
50 Shades of Black. And
Yeah.
I paid for that. And I only did it out of spite because the girl I took made me see and pay for 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, okay.
So to get back at her, and I knew this movie was going to be shit. And as much as I love Marlon Wayans, I knew this movie was going to be fucking trash. I knew it. But I was like, yo, you made me suffer through that boring ass 50 Shades of Grey. Now you're going to suffer through this.
Did I
piece
go
of
with you
shit
to see
movie.
that dumbass movie?
It was me, you, one who will not be named,
And the other one who will not be named.
another one, yeah, will not be named. But yeah,
Listen,
we all
Who
four,
did
all
Meet the
four of
Blacks
us.
then?
Oh, that was the Mike Epps.
Was that Mike Epps? I was over saying
he
Omar
did
Epps.
That
That
had
was the Purge parody.
That was a Purge parody, and that only had one funny scene, and that was the exchange that he had with Michael Blackson.
I turned it off after
That-
5 minutes
that-
because I remember it was on it was on Netflix that it premiered, right?
No, it was in
It
theaters.
was in theaters.
It
Oh,
was
well,
in
I seen
theaters.
it on
It just went
Netflix.
to Netflix real
Yeah,
quick.
probably.
Yeah.
I seen that, and I seen like the one scene where like what's that dude's King Bach, and he's like a generally funny person, but he was not funny in this movie. And after like 5 minutes, I said, nah, I just went to something else.
And you know what makes it even worse about that film? It makes no sense because it's like a Purge parody. Why was it only hood lover movies? People who love hood movies know this reference. Why was Big Head Rico from Belly in it? Like I still at the end he's like with the banana. I don't like that shit. Drop it down. I'm like, I'm confused.
He
Why?
did it for money.
They knew they would have a very specific audience watching this.
Apparently. Oh yeah, because Tiny, the T.I.'s wife, she was in it too.
I didn't make it that far.
I
told you,
know.
I didn't make it that far.
I didn't even notice.
I felt.
You're not missing anything.
Nothing
It's
on
it's
Mike
horrible.
Epps' stab at the parody.
You're better off
movie.
watching the first Purge movie, which wasn't that great. Probably the worst. I want to say, yeah,
It's the worst one out of
probably
them.
the worst one in all of them. Because the
It
first
started off wrong. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like
I feel like it ate- it's
for,
like
for the
it-
concept
it
that it
aged
was,
well,
and it
it
takes
aged
place
well.
all in one house, and it doesn't seem like there's much craziness
Yeah.
going on.
And it
Second
sucks
one
because it's a
really
pretty good
expanded.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Nah,
good
the
concept.
series got better as it went on because they got more money though.
Yeah, but I felt like they missed. Here's the thing about the Purge. Like I felt like they missed the mark with it because I felt like as the series progressed, it went more into an action type of direction rather than a horror element.
Yeah,
Because
Frank Grillo in it.
like here's the thing. Like one of the things is like okay,
Yeah, he's basically the Punisher.
yeah, like with
Long black trench coat.
Yeah, basically.
with the whole like Purge and everything. It's like there was so many things they could have did with that. One, they could have went more into depth of why the Purge is, because obviously to me when I watched the Purge, I was like, okay, this is about population control. Okay, they could have really went in depth into that. Also, the first one was kind of like in a bottle
They're
type
doing a series
situation.
though.
Yeah, but
But they did a movie called The First Purge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
like
another one that's supposed to be
a
released.
prequel.
There's another one coming
I think
out.
this is
Yeah, there's
supposed to be
another
the
one.
last
But
one.
this was supposed to be the actual prequel, so you might get your answers.
The first Purge I thought was why do we? I don't like when they do that. Like I don't like prequels on top of prequels. Like please.
I think Purge 1 and 2 were fine. Purge 1 was a cool concept that I don't think they really fully elaborated on. And then Purge 2
My favorite,
was
They
that
fleshed it out.
my
Two-
favorite
the
one
second
is
was the
2, which
favorite
was
one.
Anarchy, I think it was
Yeah,
called.
Anarchy was definitely better.
And then Election Year was like the third one. That felt like more of like a action thriller. Yeah.
I didn't make it that far.
I actually didn't watch that third one. Yeah, how was that?
It wasn't.
It was
wasn't too
alright.
bad.
It's a good popcorn movie.
I liked it better than the first Purge though.
I got a question for y'all.
See.
What's a movie you would love to get seen turned into a ride that hasn't been done already?
Well,
'Cause I got
apparently,
my answer.
apparently
I
your boy
want-
McCamey Manor made the Purge. So I guess we could take that out of the question.
That movie.
I
That's
got-
a hard
I-
question. I gotta think about that.
me too.
There's a man.
They did a Purge escape room in New York City that I really wanted to do.
Did they?
But it sold
That
out
sounds like a cool
like
concept.
in a minute.
I would like to see what is the I don't know the game that you play? Is it Dead by?
Dead by Daylight.
If they did a ride
Yeah.
that was interactive when you had to deal with Jason Voorhees, Freddy, Chucky, Scream, like if
I feel like those characters, that could be its own. Like each one of them could really be its own
land?
thing. Like if you made like a Jason
horror
type of
movie
like
theme park.
yeah,
like
Oh, that'd
the
be cool.
like you made a Jason like ride like that can take place like in a maze in like some forest or whatever, and you have different actors as Jason coming out scaring you at different points. But I'm trying to think.
Dude,
If you would have made
a
it
horror movie theme park would be sick.
I
That
guess
would-
the
that
main
would be-
thing would
Yeah.
be getting the
Yeah.
contracts for all those characters. And
Yeah, but you just gotta
But
do
If
like,
Universal could
Universal.
do it,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm
Let
gonna
Universal do it. They
say-
have to apparently get the
Bring the
contracts for
concept. Bring the
everything.
concept to them,
you know?
and then.
But isn't that essentially what the Universal Horror Nights are?
Yeah,
this
but
would
it's
be-
not
this would
all
be
year
more
round.
targeted.
Oh, like
Yeah.
just an exclusive horror theme.
Yeah.
But you know
I
what?
felt like
further-
I was gonna say like, cause just thinking about it, like almost in the same way they got the Men in Black ride, that could work as Terminator also. Now that I think about it,
could.
so you're set in like the actual future where all this shit goes down, you know, and now you got the robots and the drones and the tanks.
Terminator ride somewhere?
They had a,
It was a
show-
movie
it was
thing.
They had a
show.
3D show at
3D
Universal
show.
Studios, which was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had
It's
the
like the
original
stunt show
cast and
now.
stuff.
Did they changed
I
it?
think it's just a stunt show.
It was very based on Terminator 2.
Yeah.
So I feel like-
Which is the
The best,
Yeah.
best
the
Terminator.
best,
movie.
and the last
But
Terminator
but
took
if they
a
made
giant
like an
dump on
actual
it.
ride, and like I said, you have the endoskeletons like shooting at you, you shoot at them because it's all lasers anyway. Because apparently, like actual bullets, went away.
This may be a little.
I think you're all right. I think a horror themed theme park would be amazing. Because
Yeah.
I'm like thinking about it in my head. I'm
That'd
like,
be great.
yo, Final Destination roller coasters.
Nope, I ain't going on that.
You got
one.
like,
no.
That part could be laid out like so
Freddy
dope. Like,
Fazbear's Pizzeria.
Not today,
section,
Satan.
Yeah,
Crystal
every
Lake.
section. Yeah, you have Crystal Lake. That's all the woods. So
So Michael Myers
so like
Town?
Freddy's
so
Dream
they
World.
can have like a.
Oh hell no!
Here's the thing.
DreamWorld, that'd be
So
tough.
with stuff like that, that could all be in like one area. So say like you have Elm Street, and then you have Haddonfield,
the Toy Factory from Child's Play.
Like all of those could like be in like one like suburban like area, and then like what you were saying with like Crystal Lake, so that could be like that whole woods type area could be
Evil
like
Dead.
Evil Dead,
Dead.
Cabin in the Woods, like type of movies,
That'd be
Friday
so
the 13th.
Cool. Yeah.
Have a carnival. You see Pennywise.
Uh-huh.
Hell no!
Ah,
You
that
got
would be
Funhouse.
amazing.
That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
like Pennywise would have a
And
good like
some
funhouse.
actor comes out does the.
We might have to pitch this to Universal.
We do. Hey, Universal, what's up? Hi.
a Saw escape room? 'Cause I
Oh my
feel
God.
like
Yes,
that's
that would be
just for
perfect.
it.
That would be
A
perfect.
haunted house with Annabelle and like the Warrens.
The
They can
whole
make
Conjuring,
it. They can
yeah.
make it look like the Warrens' house that's in Connecticut.
Yep.
I think it's Connecticut.
Shit
With
moving.
the whole walkthrough.
Yeah.
That'd be a great time.
Hit your boys up. We got some.
I feel like
things
there's
to
so
discuss.
many more. Like, I mean, they could have like a cute little St. Patrick's Day. Have like Leprechaun
Leprechaun,
come out,
right.
messing with people.
That could be a seasonal thing.
Listen, somebody getting kicked. Okay, that's all I got to say on that one.
I will say my ride idea is a little more tame, but I think it would have been a really cool thing for when the movie came out if they were to do a ride based on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Some sort of like motion simulator kind of ride through. But like,
that
you
could
know
take you
how...
through the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know how Guardians, the new ride, will kind of take you through like a bunch of different things while
And then-
at the same time
and then
being
go-
the drop
yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Instead of the drop, the ride is that version of the tunnel because that shit looked like a fucking water ride.
True.
So like a tunnel through that, you explore Willy Wonka's factory. You could have a little tribute to the old movie with a fucked up part of the tunnel. Like, I think that'd be cool.
That would
Mine
be
is a little far fetched, maybe, but mine, I had an idea about like a Flashpoint kind of ride where like you're in the mummy style environment and it like flies you through certain points. And,
like Flash as in
Like
like
in
the hero
actual
Flash, yes,
Flash,
yes,
okay.
So different
Yeah.
points in the story.
yes, and
Okay.
and there's certain points where the roller coaster's like flying like really fast.
Oh, okay. I see
because that
what
could
you're
be
saying.
like that could work as like an indoor coaster and like you go through. That'd be cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be cute. I
different
could
sections and
definitely see
stuff.
that.
That could be one of those like rides where you're like, where a section of it you're riding past like a wall or something. You look over and there's like a way that they painted it. It looks like the Flash is running with you.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be cool.
that's what I had in mind.
That could be cool as
That
fuck.
would be cool.
So never gonna happen, and also just like my favorite video game of all time, and I would just like love to see some sort of animatronics in a video game. I'm not saying the Flash one, that can happen, but for me, I would die to see like a BioShock ride, just with the whole world of Rapture. Anybody else into BioShock here?
I played the second game. That's the only one I
haven't
played.
it, but
Yeah.
I heard
I'm
good
all
things. I
alone
heard
here.
good
It's
things.
my favorite game. Favorite game of all time. Best world building in a video game I think ever. And I think if there was a
BioShock
video
ride.
game of that, you would love it. That's a horror game.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you
I
need
would
to-
have fun. Like I said,
I have the
I played-
whole things. I'll lend them to
I
you.
played the second game, but that's the only one I played, so I'll
Which is
definitely play the rest of them.
Probably the weakest one.
Really?
But I
enjoyed it. But I guess compared to
fan wise, it's I personally really like the second one. You gotta play the first one though. First one.
Cause you're under. It's all under like a underwater.
Yeah,
Like
underwater
city.
society.
Yeah, you're in. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Do people campaign for rides? Like, do people?
They
be like,
should.
Probably do.
They probably do.
Because I would love to try a Bioshock ride. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm trying to think like
I'm
bigger, like
all
video
the ride
games,
ideas
like
here
video
sound
games and
dope.
movies, like cause all could work, like you know.
With
What I
like
mean?
a Resident Evil like Nemesis ride.
Japan had something similar where you had like a gun and had like an ammo counter on there.
Because they had that whole
and you
promotion
go
where
through
they
like
give
a
you,
whole
Leon's jacket.
yeah, you go through
that's
like a raccoon city and everything. So it was kind of like the Men in Black thing, but just you're not sitting confined to like a moving thing. I think you're actually walking around, So I would love to see them, that would work amazing if they did something like here. Because again, it could be like a haunted like walk through attraction, but it's also like interactive because you could shoot zombies and say like Nemesis, this big 7-foot ass comes out,
Star.
Exactly.
Thinking about it again. Hold on, I gotta slip my mind. Hold on, I'll get right back to it. I'm trying to like figure out how it'd work as a better ride. Oh yeah, as far as Ant-Man and the Marvel MCU goes, think about a ride like a motion ride that was about the quantum realm, and you're like stuck in there.
And you go to the multiverse.
Yeah, the multiverse. Yeah, that's what I was trying to point
That'd be
out.
kind of similar to the Flashpoint.
Yeah,
ride.
something
Yeah.
similar.
They probably just make a whole end game where you have to steal the Infinity Stones.
And an Infinity Heist like ride through the multiverse. That'd be
Yeah.
sick. Or if whatever the Doctor Strange movie comes out, if that ends up like
Something- yeah,
having
exactly.
something like that,
Yeah.
where you can go through the different multiverses.
You know what I think could actually be a cool Ant-Man ride too? Now that I think about it, what if it was something that kind of blended VR but still made you feel like something was actually happening around you? What if you actually got to experience the Ant-Man suit, but it goes into like giant mode?
That'd be sick.
That'd be
That'd be
sick.
crazy.
A lot of people are gonna
It turns
throw
on
up.
VR.
Yeah, but it'd probably be worth it.
But you wake up and you're like, holy shit,
you're
you're like
right there.
16 stories tall, and as the ride starts, you start walking, but like it's calibrated to what you're doing. So like you'll actually hit something if you like look down and you feel like a skyscraper, it'll be like some sort of fucking digital block. So that when you look at it, you're like, oh shit, my bad, didn't mean to do that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start going towards like exclusive VR experiences
Yeah,
for
that'd
like
be
theme
dope.
parks
Well,
and
Disney
stuff like
tried
that.
that. Disney
Like
tried
individual
that
headsets
with.
and stuff.
Yeah, they had this arcade for the longest time that was supposed to be initially mini Disneylands in every like major city.
I was gonna say because like y'all were going into that territory. You know who actually did that? Did you guys ever go? It was back when what was it, Ghostbusters, the Kristen Wiig
Disney
one.
Quest.
Disney Quest.
Game over for damn. It's game over for Disney.
Closed.
Well, that's exactly what they tried doing with Disney Quest. It was like the first theme park to actually integrate VR into what its system was supposed to be.
Ahead of
And
its
these were
time.
supposed to be like Dave and Buster's all over the country. There was one in New York and in Chicago.
Ahead of his time.
What was ahead of his time? Like staying on like the VR thing and like movies turned into rides. Like, and it would be so amazing if Universal picked this up and brought it back. So back in like when the Ghostbusters movie with Kristen Wiig and all them came out, Madame Tussauds had a VR Ghostbusters experience that was fucking amazing. So like you get like your gun and everything, little proton pack, and your VR helmet, and they put you through. So everything you see, even like the people you're with, you see them as like Ghostbusters in the room. It's all like digital. So then, so when you look at like your hand, you're wearing the suit. Like you see the black gloves, the actual wand and suit and everything. And it just at one point, and you're going through different rooms and everything. Like, so you gotta like actually open the doors and shit like that. You're shooting ghosts and all that. You get to like one point where we were like scared to move at one point. So it's like one point you're on a balcony on like this high ass rooftop, and you look over and it's just like the street and you see cars and everything, but there's like a bunch of ghosts like flying in the air. You gotta shoot them, and then like it's kind of like moving because you're on a shaky balcony. So all of us is like we're kind of like scared to move. Everyone's like walking like mad slow. 'Cause it really feel like you're about to fall over. Even though if you take off the helmet, it's gonna be like just some regular ass room, like everything probably like painted green or something like that. But that was one of the best. Like, say what you want about the movie, I didn't like it at all, but the promotion that they did and had like this VR experience, it was amazing. So like, just going back to like saying like, bringing movies back, for rides. If they brought Ghostbusters back to Universal, this is the way they should do it. Because especially with the money behind it that Universal has, they can make something like even way better than what they had at just Madame Tussauds over in the city.
I think they did like a temporary Iron Man VR promotion thing. Like,
Yeah, the game though.
Oh, that's a whole game?
Your father has it,
My
right?
dad has it. It's a whole game.
The Iron Man VR thing is a whole game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then. I was completely
I'd probably be flying into buildings.
No, it was funny. I can't remember where I was at in New York, but you guys remember that movie with The Rock that's called Skyscraper?
Yes.
Yeah, there's like a VR. I don't know if it ever became a game, but I got like a demo of it at this random place, and it felt so real. Like they make you jump off the side of the building and stuff like that in the VR, and I
would have screamed too.
I was shook.
Splat.
Like looking at your shirt, I for the longest I thought it was Alien. Well, I just realized it was Alan, like from the meme. So
Oh, I thought it said alien too.
yeah, I know. I didn't realize because I looked over because I was gonna mention like Alien would make an amazing.
great.
Because remember like the ride that you
The
slipped
headline
out
is
of.
wrong too. The whole thing is the whole shirt is just spelled wrong. The longer you look at it, the worse it gets.
I was highly disappointed at that alien experience.
Yeah,
thing.
because like the Alien count, like if you did that same thing like with Alien,
with aliens, it would be even good.
But the great movie
Predator
ride had that Alien part in there.
What about even Predator?
Predator was
Escaping from the predator.
Escaping from the Predator.
the whole
Cool.
jungle and everything.
He's like, nah.
There's an actor in there with you.
There's a limit. That could be a ride in our horror land.
So
We call it. We
one
should,
experience with you and an actor dressed as a predator.
we should call it Horrorland. Just like what was that Goosebumps? story?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Harlan Part 1 and 2. They had
That episode was scary. Episode was scary.
Yeah, they died. They
died.
they got away, but then they like.
That was a
crashed.
very dark
Yeah.
ending
And then
for a
they-
kids
yeah,
show.
Because I was gonna bring up like a lot of like in the upcoming episode for spooky month.
Spooktacular.
I was gonna bring up like those shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark, the Goosebumps, and like how like effed up some of those shows were. But yeah, like Goosebumps out. I would love to see. Well, see. Oh man, this all hit me. Like I forget which park it was. Maybe
Well, Goosebumps is coming back, so I wouldn't be surprised because they're bringing back. Yeah, they're bringing back Goosebumps, and I think the word that I heard was that it's gonna be almost like not a full blown adult take, but it's gonna be like a genuinely scary version.
Oh,
Like almost like Tales from the Crypt type thing.
I'm here for
I'm
it.
totally about
I'm
it
here
if
for
that
it.
means I get Slappy as the Crypt Keeper.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
How fucking cool would that be?
I'm here for it.
That's what we were supposed to get for the sequel to that movie. For the Goosebumps movie, if any of you had actually seen it.
I've seen
The
both
first
of them.
one
I've seen both of
one
them.
is great.
First one is
Yeah.
great. I enjoyed it.
I didn't mind the second one, but I was like, there was so much more you could have done. It was supposed to be Horrorland, and then at the last minute, Jack Black dropped out to do
Gulliver's Travel too.
either Jumanji.
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 Okay, I can't be mad at that because Jumanji was very successful. So I can't be mad at that.
Wait, Jumanji 2. Yeah, Jumanji.
Thinking about this.
Jumanji would make a great ride.
Yeah, it would.
Make a
But
great game.
thinking about this theme park, this horror park that we're discussing right now, it made me think about that terrible movie. I don't know if you've seen it because you're a big horror fan. Did you ever see Hellfest like 2 years ago?
I did see Hell. I seen Hell.
And it was
I
terrible
I
to
didn't
me.
see it. I didn't
I
see
like
it.
I did not like it at all. I thought it was really
I thought it
bad.
was okay, like nothing special.
But
Like,
that ride-
they killed the guy who was like the main killer. Like
Yeah.
no charisma to him. Like,
I
I
agree.
felt bored by him. Like it was literally anything and anyone else.
He didn't have the it factor.
But the park that they were at reminds me of sort of what we're like aiming for, a much better version of that.
Yeah, for real. Cause like I said,
Yeah.
if you made like a horror theme park, there's a lot of avenues to go. Like I said, that Alien ride or the Allen ride could exist there. I'm trying to think. There was something on my mind. You can sell a bunch of Chucky dolls at like the gift shop. Like, I don't think about it. Like,
Oh yeah, you can sell Chucky dolls, the
Puppet
hockey
Masters,
mask,
the
Michael
you know,
Myers,
All the masks for all the
mask.
characters, actually.
But you
Scream
can't wear it
costume?
there because they probably have the same rules and regulations they have at other parks. Like you can't, like, which I hate because I'm like, where is it socially acceptable where I can wear this Jedi robe? Like, if I can't wear it at the Star Wars theme park, I have to wait till Comic-Con just to put this on. Like,
Yeah.
You know, so I hate that. I think even in the Harry Potter thing, I don't even think you wear the wizard robes. You know, which
But it might
you could buy the
interfere.
wands and you could use those because they have like parts that's interactive, like around the park. So say like you'll be in like Diagon's Alley, and they'll have like stuff in the window, and they'll have like the motion on the floor, like in a little insignia. You gotta
stand
do the
over it.
motion, and then you'll see like the stuff start moving and interacting and all that stuff like that.
It's like DLC for the park. You gotta pay extra.
Yeah,
to access.
exactly.
I can kind of see why, with how like long some of the people's robes are. They're probably worried about it getting stuck or stepped on.
They're
or-
worried about like young kids confusing adults with people who work there. So say like if a kid gets lost and you could have some
Weirdo.
predator
staff
in
member?
the
Yeah.
Slytherin robe. Yeah, I know
makes
where your
sense.
kids are. Trust me.
Well, they do
better.
have this thing called Disney. I think it's called Disney Bound, where people they don't dress up like the characters, but what they do is they do like their own variation of it, and so that's kind of like a loophole people will find. They call it Disney Bound. So like people will do, and you can kind of see they can be like, oh, like you're Winnie the Pooh. Okay, you have the yellow shirt. Like it's just like a kind of like a loophole way of actually
that cutoff
you know.
shirt.
All right, so is that it?
Oh no, I was man. I had so more. I was trying to think of more.
We was
theme
going
park
in on
shit,
this
man.
episode,
Yeah.
but we got a lot coming up for October though.
Yeah, that was like, the only other thing on here that was just like the time travel thing.
Yeah, you can bring that up.
Oh yeah,
know.
like random, yeah. Time travel's cool.
That's all you need to
Because
know.
I was looking at the article and like reading a little bit of it. You know, they basically was just saying like, they're possibly found a way with time travel will be possible without like the grandfather paradox. So that's basically what it was saying like.
Well, yeah, because they were studying Einstein's law of relativity, and like this is the thing with the whole time travel thing. Like, there's so many. It's like a rabbit hole. But one of the best, I'm going to say it now as far as time travel that I heard of is like you can. It's kind of like this. If I think the closest galaxy is to us is Proxima Centauri. I think, yeah. The next universe is Andromeda. So let's
Be alone 5.
so let's say if you're on a planet in that galaxy, right? And you had a telescope big and powerful enough to see Earth from that many light years. If somebody was looking at us now, they wouldn't be looking at us now presently. They'll probably be looking at like the Roman Colosseum being built. So they're looking into our past,
The good old days.
but we're looking into
Pre-COVID.
looking into their future. That was not the good old days. If you know the history, how they lived back then,
No, I don't know. Because I was just gonna think like during the time travel, like depending on what time, like going on from what we know from time travel, which is all we know is from movies. Let's be real.
Back
Because
to
none
the
of us
Future.
are physicists or any that true. So depending on like what rules, like if you could time travel, like is there a certain point you would go back to, or like certain things you would do, like so say like if going off the Terminator's rules where it's you can't go into the future, they only ever send stuff back.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. That's the only way. You can only go to the past. So if you could only go to the past and you think about it, because remember you cannot go back. So it would you bring your present self and go to the past? Would you relive a certain decade or go to a different decade or?
So
like,
question, so you can only go to the past, but once you're in the past, you can't go back to the future. You
no,
gotta stay there.
yeah, Terminator. That's it. Like,
hot
you're-
tub time machine,
yeah,
like that too.
Like you're
Well,
stuck
he
there.
stayed there by choice.
By choice, right.
But Terminator, you go back, you're naked as hell.
I love that so many
And
of us
that's
saw
it.
Hot Tub
That's
Time
it.
Machine. It's a good movie. Yeah,
The first one.
I didn't see this.
I didn't see the
First
second
one was good. Listen, I like most of us. We're black. We're not going back to the. We're not going to the past. Let's be honest. We're not going nowhere near the past. We're not even favorable now. Okay. So no, thank you. I will take my listen. If I had to go, maybe the '90s to relive my childhood. Other than that, I'm going to the future. Okay, that's where I'm going.
But if you go back, would you be reliving your childhood, or would you be?
Well, because yeah, in Terminator,
Oh,
no,
no.
so the age you're now. So say like if you go back at 35, when you go back to 1990, you're 35. So
But the
you're-
other you is still there.
the other you is
Is a kid,
I don't think.
or does it replace them? So there's only one in a time.
See, it's so many rules.
Because that's the thing in Terminator, they never like from what they show, like say like Kyle Reese didn't run into a Kyle Reese from because yeah, pretty much. So it's like they don't really get into that kind of paradox.
Yeah, if you
Really,
interact
the
with
only
yourself.
paradox they really get into is that in order for John Connor to be born, he had to send his father back in time, you know, or else he would not lived in the first place. And for order him to live, it had to been sent back. It's
Either
weird.
way, time travel's confusing. That's all we need to know.
But given like, but okay, so like, okay, so you get, okay, so go with something easier. Back to the Future. Go wherever the hell you want at any point in time you want. Present, future, you know. Would you go back and stop 9/11? Like, what would you, like, what, like, if you could, what would you do? Like, if you had that power, if you had a DeLorean right now, you punch it to 88, you know.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go back to 16, whatever, and I'm gonna go to Africa, and I'm gonna go, hey, there's gonna be a bunch of pale-faced people coming. Don't trust them, okay? Just don't.
They won't know what you're saying though. You gotta learn.
I'm gonna learn
You
it.
gotta learn the dialect first, because otherwise they could be like,
I'll just like
exactly.
listen like this.
Otherwise, you'll probably mess it up even worse. For us. Like, you know,
Olivia,
Greg is gonna fuck the future up for us way more than it already is. So I think you need a better game plan if you're going to do that. Me personally, would I go back that far?
Me neither.
Nah, I don't feel like there's much I can really do.
And,
To
I might like go
stop
back
it.
to like see shit, but not fuck with it. You know?
Butterfly effect is
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Cause like if I fuck with something, I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. But like if I go back and I'm like, I wanna see.
I'll go back watch some things.
Hey, y'all
Go
know
back
that
to
boat gonna hit an
Shakespeare
iceberg, right?
Yeah.
I'll go watch and see some
Hey,
things get built.
Dr. King,
Yeah.
duck.
Y'all aren't taking advantage of
here's-
this power, though. I mean, you gotta get those lottery numbers.
That's what I'm saying. I would do something like
I'm Big
personally
10 and
greedy.
relax.
Exactly.
But what if you like stepped on like? What if you didn't do anything? You just like I was gonna observe. What if you like stepped on an ant and next thing you know
The
that
butterfly effect.
Yeah, that caused nuclear holocaust. Thanks to Murdoch who had stepped on an ant.
come back in the world is
Destroyed.
fucking Mad Max?
You know what's crazy? Like the only way to fix that in that scenario would literally be to kill yourself. Because if you never existed, I know, like, but it's fucked when you think about it. If we're going off rules like
Is
that,
this gun real? We can't take any
Sacred.
chances.
Yo, but you sitting there pointing the gun. What's that Wesley Snipes meme where you sitting there crying, pointing the gun? Like that's you going back. And
Murdoch, look at the flowers. Look at the flowers, Murdoch.
have any of you ever seen 11/22/63 on Hulu?
Oh,
It's
it's
in a-
the JFK thing, right?
That's
Yeah.
the Stephen, based on the Stephen King
It's
book.
the Stephen King book, and it's this diner in, I think it's the Midwest, where if you go through this closet, you end up in 1955, but it's always this exact date. Like, this dude goes through this portal like 3 times, and the exact same thing happens 3 times.
I'll
So,
pass.
so it's like, it's one of the creepiest ways of time travel I had seen, because it's like, it's a fixed point. So every time he went through whatever portal was in there, it was always the same.
That's
There was
how,
never a difference.
The movie I just watched, it just came out this year. Was Andy Samberg?
Oh, Palm Springs.
Yes,
It was like the
yeah, when he
Groundhog
was
Day.
stuck in the time
That
loop.
was
It was
pretty good.
kind of like that.
Have any of you guys been watching the show Dark on Netflix?
Nah, I heard it was good though.
That show's crazy.
It's
It's a
wild.
German show and it's about time travel, and just like every episode it just like gives you a little bit more of the time travel, just like, okay, and this person is actually this person from the past who's this person's son, and it's like, all right, I gotta put that in my mind. And then the next episode is like, and this person is this person's brother from the past and the future, and it's like, all right, there's like literal whole character trees and stuff like that from like every
I'm trying,
season.
yeah,
It's
it's
the
gonna be
time
thinking like
travel
if
gets
you went back in time, like what if
crazy.
you found out something that you really didn't want to know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's like I mean it's kind of what happened to Marty like in Back to the Future. Like everything his mom said was pretty much like a damn lie. You know she was like, oh, I never sat in cars with boys, and here she is like
In the car with him.
yeah, in the car with him. You know trying to get loose. So. It could be stuff like that, but I don't know. Like I'm trying to think like if I had any point I could go to, I probably would do the Biff Tannen thing though. I would definitely
Get them lotto tickets.
yeah like
Wow.
yeah like what was that one big Powerball that
Numbers.
someone won like 2 years ago or something like that? I would probably go like do that shit. I would just play those numbers.
And then I would get in time machine and I would go rob him.
And then I get in the time machine and rob you.
Well, might as well just join the limo.
Rob
Just
each other
join
in
in.
time.
time heist. We just robbing.
I was watching a skit that was like that. I think it was a College Humor skit. Like he went. It was started off like as this fun sketch. This guy got to go back in time to the 90s, but then he got tasked with because he went to the 90s. He got tasked with having to stop 9/11. Like it's way funny.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
If you watch it, like it's funny. But that like he tried to like just go back because who would, like you said, if you would go back to the 90s, like I'm pretty sure like most people would, but
you just have to have a game plan. Like I'm gonna stop 9/11. You get there like, okay, how am I gonna do this? Crap, I didn't think this far.
I would stop that guy from getting his head kicked off at the Six Flags. Hey, I got your hat right here, man. Like
it's not worth it, man.
Huh?
Leave the hat, bro.
Because like I said, there's so many disasters you could probably stop. If you did go back in time,
then you'll cause more disaster.
Yeah, what is that disaster?
It's possible. Could you stop COVID? Could you stop that guy from eating a bat?
Yes. I'm like, dude,
here's a sandwich, bro. Here,
you have way more options than eating this. If you want to eat poison, there's a McDonald's right down the block, bro. Seriously, there's a KFC around the corner. If you're feeling a little exotic, man, come on.
We learned time travel is very complicated and it should not be trifled with.
I'm trifling with it. If it's possible and it's safe. I wouldn't do it like the Back to the Future way because now I think about it, that's pretty dangerous. So say like you're going, like say if I'm on this street right here and I want to go back to like 1922 and say like what if there was like a tree at that point that I'm going, because you're driving the car, you go there because you just go into exactly that point back in time. So what if there's a building there and I just immediately upon coming out of the future going 88 miles per hour, I just smash right to and I died.
That's it.
Ironically.
And then you just leave evidence of a fucking destroyed time machine in the field.
And they reverse engineer, they rebuild it.
And cause havoc on the world.
Throw your body in a ditch somewhere and say, you thanks, good luck.
Would you actually, I feel like this will be the question we probably go out on, but would you actually try and stop a major event like that?
I wouldn't.
If I could stop
'Cause
9/11, I might.
I wouldn't.
I don't think I would. And I know this sounds fucked up, but you never know what worse outcome could have happened.
Yeah.
Because 9/11 made us aware of a whole bunch of other terrible shit. If we stopped that, who's to say we would get something much worse?
How do you know there's not something much worse around the corner that you got to go back and stop?
Only one way to find out. Go back in time and
See, it's funny with that COVID thing, but can you imagine, like, you go back, you think, oh, I'm going to stop COVID, then you find out, oh, shit,
like
the government made it.
So you could play it on a smaller scale where, like, say, like, all the bunch of, like, mass shootings, you could probably definitely stop, I feel. Like, those I don't feel like there'll be any crazy...
like Sandy Hook and shit
like that country music festival.
You go back and
I just call security, hey, up on the penthouse.
Now go back and change
Or
the
you
amendment.
can go back and stop homeboys from outer space ever being made.
I would stop
I'd let Michael
scary
Jackson
movies.
know that his doctor was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
I would kill Conrad Murray.
I would go
kill
back in
him.
time and just you to see me go right behind him.
What happened to my doctor? Oh, we won't see him anymore.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. You could take his body with you. Won't be ever found. You could bury it in a different time zone. You could chop his body up and bury it in different time zones.
But here's the thing with that. That's gonna raise way more questions when they get found later on, because they'll all be in various stages.
A fucking children's park.
Yeah.
We found Conrad Murray's skull, but it's only like 6 months old. But we found his femur. It's like 30. What the fuck?
It's a hoax.
Oh, time travel. It gets sloppy and complicated, but I don't know. With that power, I can't be trusted with it. I would probably do some crazy stuff. But I don't know. That pretty much wraps up everything. Again, thanks for joining us. Again, as always, Wallace, Murdoch, Stark, Greg,
Peace.
Christian,
Yo.
me, Leroy Green. That's everything. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Deuces.
Like, comment, subscribe.